Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.
And we are live. Hello everyone! I am Dungeon Master for this Warcraft RPG campaign. I am William. And welcome to Storm, Earth, and Fire. With me today we have a number of people, including 2 extras. Immediately on my left we have John.
Right, who's in the middle of yawn? Hi, I'm John, and I'm playing Garrett Cloudspeaker, the Orc Shaman.
And Holly.
Hi, I'm Holly, and I am playing Shiana Flamecarver, the Orc Rogue.
And Austin.
Hi, I'm Austin, and I'm playing a troll.
One of these days you will
Other
say
people
his
call
name.
me by names, but I don't care.
One of these days
I'm
you
a
will
troll.
say his name. His name is Jangatal. Jangatal Wildwalker.
And he is a troll hunter.
I have a level of hunter now, but I'm primarily still a troll.
Troll hunter.
And immediately on my right we have Stan.
This is me. I am playing Josh, a Goblin Tinker.
And in the empty void that you can see between, we have Zachary, who is not quite here yet, but will be here shortly, who is playing Leaf Ironmender, the half-orc, half-human priest.
Is it going to materialize there?
Yeah, he's just going to beam in. Yeah.
With that sound effect.
Yeah, with that sound effect.
Yep.
And then on the far right we have Rudy.
Hey, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Break Earth Whisperer, Tauren Rune Master.
And the first of our 2 guests we have Kira.
Hello. I have a half ogre huntress named Fiona.
Fiona.
Oh, good. I get it.
And
half
the
ogre?
Half ogre.
Half ogre.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and I am playing Kruldagar, a goblin assassin.
Yep. He's an assassin.
That's only slightly concerning. Not a Nazi witch.
No,
No, not a
Not
nasty
all.
wish.
not a
This
Nazi
isn't
witch.
Shadowrun.
Could secretly be a Nazi witch.
There will be no
Or
flirting
worse.
with your character, I promise.
Good. It'd be very difficult to flirt with this character. I am still a troll.
Although the hunter could probably calm me down a little bit.
So,
Because you're close.
when last we left our primary party, the group had been given orders from Warlord Bloodhilt of Desolation Hold to find and determine the nature of the overgrowth of plant life that had been glimpsed in a dream by the majority of the occupants of the fort over the course of the previous evening. The group of you were sent out to investigate, and on your way, after seeing what seemed to be a little bit of mysterious activity over the course of a couple of nights, were attacked by a gigantic scorpion.
With a circulatory system.
Yes,
The
with some,
scorpions totally have
with
those.
some kind of circulatory system that was pulsing some kind of greenish fluid. Which any of you who know anything about biology know that, typically speaking, scorpions don't have those.
Greenish fluids or circulatory systems?
Either or.
Both.
No, they have greenish fluid, just not circulatory systems.
I don't
Well-
think they're that
Well,
greenish.
I mean, if you were going to grow to a large size in order to scale, you're going to have a circulatory system because you can't just... Nutrient diffusion just doesn't work at a scale.
Yes, but scorpions just be like, I want to get big. I'm just gonna, boom. Oh, there's a heart.
They do have internal fluids though,
Yes.
and they sometimes look green.
So, having recovered from that attack
Not fully.
a little bit,
I've recovered fully. It only takes me like a minute, though.
taking a breather,
Yes.
The priest heals you.
the group has a moment to recoup after the battle, having spent some of their magical abilities and taken quite a few hits. But the night is young.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Am I there? Or
Yes,
am I
you are
elsewhere? Oh, I've just been like sort of
You're communing.
blasé in the background, just like, oh, well, I see you all got attacked by a scorpion.
The spirits have been very active in this area.
You've been like really zoned out.
That's true to life. Where are we at?
You are at an area in the northern end of the Southern Barrens where it seems like the dirt and the soil.
I should have left continent.
It is
Hand me that map right
this
there.
area
Laser
right,
pointer.
Yeah.
right around that region, where you know. Go ahead and show them where you're at.
Yeah.
You're approaching the overgrowth.
So we are here.
Yeah, you're right. You're almost there. You're
Okay.
right below there.
So we're here. The southern portion of the rip in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are reaching a point where it seems like the baked clay and earth of the Southern Barrens, which is typically very dry grassland at best and just desert at worst, has turned into healthy, fresh soil, which is not a natural transition for clay to become soil. And you've seen the signs of fresh green grass begin to peek up from beneath the earth, unlike the typical, yellow grass that is the only thing that typically grows in the Barrens. And you've begun to make your way towards you've just seen the faintest hint of trees on the horizon. The night is beginning to fall.
Out of curiosity, is the scorpion still there, or did Jungatal
It's
eat
a
it?
body.
Actually, no. After
I
Genital
see.
took a moment to break some armor plates off of it, and then at some point, whatever greenish fluid was pulsing underneath the scorpion's hide burst and seemed to be acting like some sort of acid and melted down what remained of the scorpion.
Could I get any sort of roll to determine what that was?
Roll me knowledge nature.
I have that. 12.
Not natural.
Wow.
I deduce that this thing dissolving is not normal.
That comes across as just a grunt, basically, because I'm an orc. Would any knowledge of the planes or anything have any effect on this?
You can roll the planes.
Worse!
Not natural.
Not natural. Are we on the edge of the grassland or what?
Yes, you're basically right where you can see this overgrowth of plant life that you had seen in a dream the previous evening is beginning to reach out into.
So then, question based on the thing that I've been doing for the past day apparently. What do the spirits have to say on this?
The spirits are confused. This is not something of their doing. This is not something of their ken. They don't recognize whatever force is driving this.
Uh-huh. And just from my previous interactions, how do the spirits in general react around night elves?
The spirits are there. They are interacting with the world as any other force does around the night elves, but the night elves don't hear them in general. The night elves generally have no ears for the spirits, no eyes for the spirits.
Okay. So, but they recognize them in their work.
Yeah, so
So
this doesn't seem This is in the realm of druidic magic to cause plant life to spring forth from nowhere, but is definitely not any work of any particular druids.
So yeah, but basically what I'm getting at is, if it was a druid, the spirits would know. They're confused, therefore probably not.
At the very least, it's not one that they have noticed.
Okay. So, look around. Are we good to continue? Also, I'm awake now, by the way.
Feel like you've been very quiet the past
I have.
day or two.
I have
Okay.
voices in your head. They do things.
They talk to me. They
They
understand.
understand.
We can start moving.
They sing to me.
Well, we were going to rest.
Oh yeah,
And then we got attacked.
Kinda. Do we need a rest?
Yeah, you just started taking a rest, and then you got attacked by a giant scorpion.
Right.
It's dark.
Let's rest then.
Yeah, go back to sleep.
All
Or
right.
you can go on your own.
Very disoriented right now.
That's right.
So you all start to take a long rest and go ahead and begin to set up watches again for the evening. As you all begin to take your
Yeah,
places.
same. Yeah, is it the same as last time?
I'll take the first watch this time, because I wasn't in the fight.
All right.
Okay.
I will make some.
I'll take the third.
If I could get Fiona, could you roll me a survival check? And my goblin friend, could you roll me a stealth check?
Whose name you've forgotten.
Yes, I have.
It's crew. Yeah.
Crew, could you roll me a stealth check?
Cruel but people call me crew. It's a nickname.
Cruel Dagger.
Crew
Cruel Dagar.
Cruel Dagger.
Dagar.
What was I rolling again?
Survival.
Survival is
Oh, good.
down toward
26.
26. All right.
9.
9.
So we
The
can
actual 9, not like German 9.
Yeah. 9?
I refuse.
There's a shocking number of people at this table who speak German.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
I mean, it raises concerns.
I took Spanish.
Good. Sehr good.
All right, so. Whoever's taking first watch, go ahead and roll me a spot check.
Could it be a listen check instead?
Sure.
Okay, because if it's a listen check, then it's a 26.
All right, that works. So, the evening passes relatively uneventfully for your end. You don't see or hear anything out of the ordinary aside from the remains of that giant scorpion over the course of your couple of hours of watch, and then it comes time for you to wake up. Second watch. Who's taking second watch?
That was me.
Brick. He's a brick. And then the sentence ends.
That's a 9.
9.
A very unsatisfying song.
So you spot as you take over the watch, it starts to get dark, but eventually you manage to see some kind of motion in the tall grass. Legitimately, it's very tall grass, but you see what seems to be the shape of a very large and broad figure that is slowly moving above the grass. Not necessarily heading towards you, but definitely moving in the vicinity. And you don't quite... I mean, you've recently been attacked by a giant scorpion, so...
Looking the same
Yeah.
way. Yeah, so you might want to...
There's a larger brick house moving towards you, Brick.
Is there... Oh, no. Is there anything around that I can throw in that direction?
You can absolutely pick up the rock and toss it.
Just
There's a couple of orcs and a goblin.
throw a goblin.
Totally got that. Yeah,
Hey, Josh!
I'll get a rock and throw
Check this
it
out.
in that direction.
Alright, go ahead and
We
roll
need
me
you to go scouting.
Go ahead and roll me an attack roll with your strength.
Attack roll with...
Josh, we need to send you scouting. Hold still. Report back. Wait, he doesn't have any way to report back. He gets eaten.
I'm rolling
Well,
terrible.
if he gets eaten, then he doesn't come back.
That's a 7.
7. So, Fiona, As you and Cruel are moving through the grass trying to investigate this area that Cruel seems to know a little bit more about, that he seems to be a little more familiar with, a rock just kind of thuds against your armor for no particular reason. And you look over in the direction, you see a campfire in the distance and what seems to be a group of figures huddled around it.
Ting.
Oh, look at that. There's a campfire over there.
I stealthily
Assassinate everyone.
a little bit further away from her and try to find another safer hiding spot so that even if she's exposed, I can still watch quietly.
Watch her die.
All right, so you disappear into the grass, which is not hard. The grass is taller than you are. So and you take a little bit of a distance from her just to keep an eye on her. Fiona, what are you doing?
Can I see who?
There's one particularly large figure who seems to be awake and upright. It's hard to tell because of the shadow cast by the campfire, because he's technically between you and the campfire. So it's just a very large shaded figure, but it is a tall and broad shape that seems to have a pair of horns off the top of its head.
Cool. I'm gonna get my bow out and knock an arrow.
All right.
Shoot the Taurus.
So you see, Brick, you see the shape stop and sort of move around a little bit, and you see what seems to be a second shape kind of pop off of its shoulder as it seems to grab something.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm going to. I'm gonna shout. Who's there?
So you hear this heavy, deep voice coming over breaking the silence of the night. Who's there?
Me.
You hear this surprisingly delicate, despite the fact that it's got a lot of bass in it, voice saying, "Me."
Off to a great start. Who goes there? Me.
So did that wake me up when he starts calling out?
Yeah, when you start shouting, you are probably the lightest sleeper of the group. So
Yeah. Okay. I wake up.
Are you friend or foe?
Of what?
That's a good question.
Me.
I don't know who you are.
Still not on me. I'm gonna go in stealth mode and just take off like at an angle.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
2 stealthing goblins in the field. Spy v spy.
So have we all woken up from
27.
this noise, or
Okay.
I think at this point, I think with the second chorus of me, I think
yeah,
wait,
you're all starting to.
there are 2 loud people yelling stupid things at each other. What's going on?
So as Cruel, as you were trying to circle around to keep an eye on her and get a better vantage point on what's going on, and Josh, as you are circling around to try and keep an eye on Brick and keep a vantage point on what's going on, the 2 of you emerge out of the tall grass and slam right into each other.
So that's the only way I was gonna find you because my search. Well, search is good, but my spot check's no good. A real person.
So the 2 of you,
Because we're all fake.
you each see another goblin. Stan, what does the goblin that Cruel sees look like?
Oh, just leather armor. I'm a little bit tall for a goblin. I mean, about 3 foot. What is this? 3'7" now.
oh, you're like 3.5
That's
tall.
3, yeah, about 3.5 feet tall. So I mean, a little bit taller than normal. I've got let's see. I've got leather armor and a little goblin smiley face on my lapel, and I'm probably carrying a barrel, a little keg.
All right.
And what does the
Because you never know when you might need to explode this field that we're in.
Right, exactly.
And
I grab my
he's,
stuff.
the leather that he's wearing also, you see like the signs of various different tools and
Oh, yeah, I got those
equipment that
yeah.
he seems to
I
have
got
on
my
him, and
belt of tools
giant
and-
tool belt and various pouches
and a
across.
backpack full of junk that probably
Yeah.
rattles around sometimes, but
Okay.
And what does the goblin that Josh sees look like?
Josh sees a shorter goblin, about middling height, very young, probably teenaged goblin, just entering adulthood, decked out in black robes. There seems to be like some maybe like something written out, like symbols or runes in what looks like blood but is probably dye. He's got a long scabbard for a cruel-looking dagger, which looks like it's been wrapped in well, a short sword really, wrapped in tattered black garments. He's got gloves. He's kind of got a bit of a gnarled appearance from the outside, but kind of a fresh-faced goblin.
Teenage emo goth goblin.
More or less.
Just wanted to be clear here.
He's
We're
going
dealing
through
with
that
it.
phase.
It's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.
So they all say.
I challenge you to tell tales and otherwise.
So as soon as I see you, I reach for one of my pouches. I'm holding one of my pouches.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Goblin. I saw not goblins, but
Yes, there's a lot of taller people back there.
yeah.
traveling with
Yeah. I've seen a lot of strangers in these parts. Makes me
Yeah.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Suspicious of you.
Of me. Why? Because I brought everybody with me.
The most eloquent duo in Barrens.
Well. So what are you doing out here? You're exploring? Or
I just rescue. I was there's I had to kill someone, and this girl started following me around.
I'll be quiet.
You're off in the distance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the conversation probably isn't
Oh,
quiet.
absolutely. Just like
No, it's not.
standing up, just like looking in two different directions, like we're a task force from the Horde. Are you allies or not?
Oh, yeah, Horde. Big into the Horde. Yeah, all of the into monsters, killing. I'm an assassin, you know. I assassinate people. So yeah, I'm allies. I mean, I'm not alliance. I am not.
Alliance.
I'm not allies. Allies of the alliance. I am.
Josh, if you're anywhere
the
near that
Horde.
one, please hit it with a wrench.
He's here with me. He seems fairly harmless. I mean,
I'll have you know I'm plenty harmful.
No, I'm an assassin. I've got my poison blade here.
You are the loudest assassin I have ever met.
oh my heart.
You don't want to see my poison.
I can't
Never
even
mind.
see you. Come towards the campfire.
Yeah. I'd stay in the shadows.
You can stay in the shadows of the campfire.
At this point, the troll who had originally pulled out weapons and shield has looked around and decided that it's just go back to nap time.
Yeah, go back to that time.
Yeah.
All right.
Feel free to approach, both of you.
So I put my arrow back in the quiver and walk forward.
All right. So
this
what
is the Horde.
what does the group see approaching them, Fiona?
It's a giant ogre who has got like this green skin but slightly pinkish as well, and she's got bright red hair, and she's got like a brown cloak over her back, and obviously and her bow still in her hands, and she's got like under the cloak you can see like a basic like chainmail shirt, and on top of like a greenish brown leather, like
Some earth tones.
earth toned garments.
Did you go with half orc for your other half?
Yeah.
Like traditionally, ogres are very pale, like humanoid pale skin generally.
Oh, okay.
So you'd probably be
So more
pale
pinkish.
than
They're more pale than I. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So generally sort of pink skinned, but very large, very broad. Definitely at least part ogre. This individual who built of muscle and tone, but carries herself surprisingly daintily.
Can I tell if this is one of the Monk Nathal, or?
They don't. They definitely are a half ogre.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
Not necessarily a Monk Nathal.
Yeah. Welcome. You see this guy? This is basically what you see for me.
So the whole.
Except it's not scalped.
Yeah, except I have hair because somebody broke the hair off.
I'm sorry I got mad at you.
Didn't even get mad, you just flicked the mini for
I
some
got
reason.
mad at you, so I flipped it and I scalped him. I'm sorry.
But yeah, just this. He is an orc that is 8 foot 6 inches tall, 652 pounds. It's all muscle and wearing a loose collection of armor, a breastplate, a large crudely crafted greatsword over one shoulder, and a totem, a large wooden totem sort of strapped to my forearm. And the one that has been calling out, saying, "Come forward." If you have any knowledge of shamans, the totem reads as a shaman.
And who else?
You're there too.
I know, you got like really close for a second. Sorry, out of my comfort zone. Shiana is like, what's the average height for orcs? I always forget.
Probably about between 6 and 7 feet.
Okay, yeah, no, she's probably about 6.5 feet, and she's an orc, and she has really long black hair. And the left side is completely braided in like these intricate braids. And then the right side's just loose. And on her right hand, she has these sharp, pokey claw thingies. And she's missing her entire left arm.
Oh, okay.
Then there's a troll. Long, gangly, little bit leaner, like not less broad, but less
Bulk.
than your standard, than even your standard troll. Long, gangly. He appears to be sitting. He was standing up. He sat back down and is kind of only vaguely interested in what's going on. He's not really wearing clothes so much as he's wearing thickened piece of fabric over his vital areas. He has a large hunk of wood strapped to his back, along with several javelins.
And he has
and his hair has been cut
The
crudely.
The hunk of wood is a shield.
It is a shield.
Because I bought it. It was crafted for you.
Yes.
And he has some rather impressively large tusks, even for a typical troll, jutting from his lower jaw, sort of curving upwards, angrily. And then the final member that is still at the campfire.
You see a large bull man.
One more. Go on.
Oh, yeah, he's there. Dark gray fur. The mane is lighter gray. He's got amber eyes. He's got just one set of braids on one side, and he's covered in marks and tattoos. And that's pretty much it.
And if it's relevant, Garrick has the same haircut I have.
Can I make a check to see if the one-armedness of the orc is a recent injury or something old and
That would be a
heal?
Maybe heal check.
You could ask her about it, I dare you.
And then the one remaining individual at the campfire is the very tall and thin-looking figure that seems to be of orcish descent. Definitely has the green skin.
And by thin, I mean spindly.
Yeah, definitely has the green skin and the tusks and the eyes and the black hair, but it's very spindly built, like almost humanoid in physique.
You can fit like 4 of him inside of me.
he definitely reads as probably a half orc, half human. Is this last individual who's very tall and very thin and lean, wearing these sort of long brown robes denoted with patchwork symbols of like golden sun symbols across the torso, denoting light. And
Isn't he also obviously unarmed as opposed to every other one of us?
he has a staff.
He has a walking stick.
He has a walking stick.
Would you deny
A man is walking.
I-
Would you deny a young man who's
I
walking?
don't
stick?
think he is yet to even try to hit anyone with his walking stick.
No.
Welcome to our camp. I'm Garrett Cloudspeaker. We are
I rolled a 10 on the heel.
It's definitely not a recent injury. There's no signs of scabbing or. It looks like it's. If it is an injury, it's very old because completely grown over. There's no stub. There's no wound.
Where'd we come from?
Desolation Hold.
We're out of Desolation Hold, investigating the area. And you are?
I am Kruldegar. I'm an assassin. An assassin with Darkwing.
Darkwing.
Darkwing?
Deathwing. was
Deathwing! I'm an assassin with
You're not a
Deathwing.
duck.
I can see you going, let's get dangerous.
Can I make some sort of insight check as to whether or not I should just smash this small thing?
Since out of he's
So
fine.
I didn't mess up Darkwing. With Deathwing, I serve the most evil and occult order of his followers to bring forth the resurgence of the Horde through violence.
Yeah, no, I need to know
Yes,
if I need to actually smash this thing.
kind of want to just
Sense motive. I can relate to.
just want to stab it.
23.
27.
5. I don't care.
you.
6.
The two of you read. He's saying these words and he's trying to put a lot of conviction into them, but it's like he's reading off of a script.
Yes.
He's just saying words that he's been told that he should be saying. There's not a lot of fire behind them.
He's not really.
Deathwing is a dragon that has destroyed, well, much of the world, including many parts of Horde settlements. If you serve him, you are an enemy of the Horde. As I draw my greatsword.
But
Would you care to rethink that introduction?
well, Deathwing is the bringer of death, and he is the most noble of all of the evils. We all aspire to the
I'm just watching the DM die over here.
we aspire to his everyone. Deathwing. He's the guy.
Hi, I'm Fiona.
He's not a...
Are you also a servant of Deathwing?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shiona's gonna, go over to him and, just poke him with her claws.
Take a step back away from the claws.
Stealth of 13.
Don't.
So he probably notices.
Yeah, probably.
you hear a shake sound off the
you hear the other goblin slowly disappear into the grass, but it's not very quiet because of the jangling of his tools.
Look, I'm with the Horde. The Horde, that's who we're supposed to serve. When we find the Horde, that's when Deathwing's wishes will be done. So, you're the Horde, and I'm supposed to, you need my help.
Should I just gut this little thing here?
No.
Not,
fine.
not yet. What is your mission?
Well, my mission is, I'm here to help the Horde. That's what That's what old. That's what
Thaddeus
the old man.
would be the man from the temple, by the way.
Who?
Thaddeus would be the man from the temple who taught you.
Ah, Thaddeus. Yeah.
Who's Thaddeus?
Now he's confused.
Thanks. So, I am on a quest to prove my metal. My
Mental?
my metal. My metal.
Oh, mental.
My metal! This metal, he says, drawing the sword. And not... He makes sure it's not...
I just plant the great sword that is like 4 of you high. I just in the ground in front of me and put my hands on the pommel.
Look, I'm still new at this.
We can tell.
So I figure I'd do what the old man did. Go out, rack up a body count, and then when I get back, tribe will respect me.
I really hope that's accurate now.
Not the
You
dog.
still haven't explained who Thaddeus is.
Oh no, it could be a burglar. Kill it.
Hang on. Oh, okay. It's just a sec.
I love your arm.
Those are dollar store scissors. They will probably break on someone.
Oh no. You just have to get them in the right spot.
I see.
Doesn't matter how cheap they are if they go in an eye.
That's lovely.
So, to recap for Zachary.
Oh boy. Has the party been up to things that I would not approve of?
Over the course, you just begun to rest after the scorpion attack.
Okay.
And during Brick's watch, the second watch, Brick noticed a large shape approaching.
Again.
It looks like
Which Brick called out, and over the course of a few minutes, was revealed to be a half ogre that was approaching the group, along with a goblin dressed in all black with short sword and angry, aggressive-looking outfit. The goblin very quickly proclaimed himself to be part of the Horde and a devoted servant of Deathwing.
Which is why I'm now standing here interrogating him with my greatsword out.
And has since been having a bit of backpedaling, trying to describe how he is here to help the Horde, he learned from someone called Thaddeus sent him around here so that he could do right by his old man in his goblin tribe or whatever group that he decided to call them.
And that's about where we're at, as I asked
And that's where we're at.
who Thaddeus is.
He's at the tribe. You wouldn't know him. Shadowy figure, undead, or forsaken.
Yes.
Forsaken.
Both of those are accurate.
Those are both accurate statements. Do I know anything about what he's talking about?
I mean, you can roll me knowledge local.
Does he know anything?
Is he using real words?
Knowledge
local?
I have no knowledge local.
You can actually roll me knowledge religion.
I do have knowledge religion.
Him specifically.
No.
Oh boy.
Or is this all that you gave me?
Ooh, that's not bad. 22.
So there's a Forsaken that you've heard about, named Thaddeus, who lives mostly somewhere out in the Barrens in a temple that he keeps mostly to himself. He is one of the few Forsaken that still practices the Holy Light. It's a difficult path for a Forsaken to follow because it does bad things to undead physiology to channel the energies of the light for long periods of time.
Yeah, they suddenly become aware that they're undead and can smell their undead flesh and feel themselves rotting.
Yeah, it's not a fun process, but he remains adamant and is a priest of the Holy Light that lives in sort of a makeshift temple out in the Barrens.
So you are a follower of the Holy Light, then?
What? Yeah. Me? No.
You're
Followers of the Holy Light?
As you look over my outfit, there's a lot of sunburst patterns in what I'm wearing. Like, normally, Alliance garb would be more of the whites and blues and golds, and this has more of the earthen tones, but it's a lot of various sun-related.
It's like someone took an Alliance priest's robe and dyed them Horde colors.
Yeah.
I'm a color-swapped priest, basically. So...
Just palette swap the Alliance figure, no one will notice.
I mean, they're like the real rebels, aren't they? Because, like, I mean, you know, everyone grows up and you're told, like, you need to worship Deathwing and evil and be selfish. But, like, I mean, those Holy Blight folks, I mean, they're pretty hardcore, aren't they? I mean, like, they're sneaking around. They're, like, setting up orphanages. Like, they're helping out the elderly. Like, they won't even throw stones at old people in the streets.
I think I'm getting a picture now.
Yes,
And rescue people from town.
rebellious life we lead.
Correct me if I'm misunderstanding. You're from a goblin tribe that works for Deathwing, and you have learned from this Thaddeus a different path.
Well, I mean, that is just kind of teaching me a few things. But I mean, I still want to do right by the Horde and things and evil. And I'm pretty cruel. I mean, just the other day, there was a kitten in the road, and
You saved it.
after calling it a pretty mean name.
No, you didn't. You said it was pretty.
I don't know what you're talking about. You shut up, woman. I mean, not that anything's wrong with being a woman, because that's great. Because I mean,
She's also like 3 times your size, if not more.
She's a half ogre. She's my size and bigger.
Yeah, she's bigger than you.
Yeah.
Nana's standing on your other side, by the way. Her claws are still out.
I mean, they don't go away.
No, but like she's holding them out.
Right.
stop.
If you want to live, never call me woman.
You're a woman. I mean,
Her name is Shiona.
So.
Don't make the same mistakes that your fellow goblin has made. If you typically don't address her often, you'll probably keep your head. Probably.
Theoretically.
Okay.
She's less of a pacifist than
I
myself.
could easily stab you in the back and feed you to the troll.
I wouldn't care.
yeah. That's what life in the Horde's like.
It's not actually whatsoever.
The other day I secretly killed 6 men.
It's not a secret if you talk about it.
What?
I can
this
always
happen?
kill this man. Oh, crap.
That's a runner.
Excuse me. What was that?
I'm just gonna hang on. Holly. Brain. One. Okay.
I was unaware of the murder of 6 individuals. I would very much like to hear more about this, actually.
Yeah,
You're
my
not the
mother's
type to
tired right
bluff.
now. I think I am.
Make a deception check if you want.
Good luck beating my sense motive.
Oh, one.
Go ahead, roll me a sense motive. Shiona, roll me a deception.
That's me a bluff.
Bluff, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's not very high. Yeah, no. 7.
14. Nice.
You doubled. I got twice.
26.
You You were there!
You're aware of it.
You know.
You're aware of what happened.
You helped. No, he wasn't here that
Oh no, he wasn't here that week.
You were there that week, right?
Was
Right,
there.
right,
I'm
right.
sorry.
That's right.
That's right.
Too many people don't know what's going on.
I
A lot of people
mean,
don't know what's going on.
she doesn't seem like remotely hesitant about it. It was clearly something that, at the very least, she feels was the right thing to do. So,
she feels was the right thing to do.
And that's very different from what many, many, many other people feel is the right thing to do.
They were traitors of the Horde.
Shiana was given a task at the behest of our superiors. It was dealt with.
And why was I not informed?
Because you're you.
Because it was a task that required some level of delicacy and subtlety. And a skill set that, to be honest, is not yours.
Then inform me and leave me out of it. When did this happen exactly?
When we were in Ogrimmar.
Yes, in Overgrowth.
Was that a few days ago?
that was yeah, because you took us
Before we
upland.
got-
It was about 3 or 4 days ago. Counting the days, it's been about a week with the
Before-
days that you've
yeah.
been resting.
And you couldn't have at least informed me on the airship.
I didn't really care to.
Also, it's a matter that's still ongoing. Those that weren't involved, strictly speaking,
What, you mean
don't
there were
need
more to
be
kill?
Involved.
Yes, well.
Well, as you're hearing currently, there are people who support Deathwing and are enemies all around, apparently. Which means that letting people know that their presence is known is not something wise to do. The less people that need to know, the less that know. Unfortunately,
So it's like one
Shiana
of those,
seems to have a problem with
Secret things.
keeping things quiet.
So it's like one of those secret pacts, and now that you've told me,
I'll have to
I'm
kill
part
you,
of your
yes.
band.
That also works.
Or we kill you.
It's not a matter of. It's not a matter.
Let's not take the number up to 7, please.
It's not a matter of
I'm
lack of
afraid we've
trust.
gotten ourselves
It's a
in
matter
some
of
real
safety
trouble here. Just follow my
and
lead.
security.
Oh no. Never follow his lead.
I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. Whatever.
I understand. In the future, however, I would very much like to be informed about this sort of thing beforehand.
If it had been,
I understand. I would not interfere. I understand as well as anyone that justice has to be an active process. But I'd very much like to not be left in the dark here.
We are teammates after all.
fair enough.
Well, it is nighttime.
Thank you.
For what it's worth, if it had been my task, I would have informed you, but it was not mine.
Well, now you know.
I guess that's one way to learn.
So I walk up to the ogre, sort of, looking up, and how did you get to be? How did you guys get connected here?
And I should note, the most of the ogres that you've seen have been pure-blooded ogres, which means they're much bigger, but they also have they're because that's just kind of their physiology. They're very adapted to it, and so they tend to have a very heavy set build, healthy combination of a lot of body fat and a lot of muscle.
And also sometimes two heads.
Sometimes two heads. She's just basically raw muscle. Like if you just took the Hulk and just swapped gender. Not even like She-Hulk, like actual full Hulk proportions.
Okay.
And yet she carries herself a little bit like a princess. Despite being
'Cause it's cute.
bigger than both Brick and Garrick.
Oh, me.
Yeah. So why are you following this? Or how did
So
you
there
get
was like
together?
this. Okay, so there was this flood a little while back,
Yeah,
and
we noticed.
there was-
I'm keenly aware of that.
Yeah, and I was out hunting, and see, the waters got pretty high, and so there was this tower I climbed in, and then the waters left, and I didn't know, I couldn't get out. So my friend here came and helped me get out of the tower, and
I mean, figured important to gather your allies, get your
yes,
thugs
that's what he told me
together.
then too.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what he told me then too. Yeah. But By the way, I'm Fiona, if you hadn't heard my name.
Fiona?
Cool.
Just so you know.
Yes.
Nice.
Pleasure to meet you.
Fiona.
Bright red hair.
Well,
She's red hair, too.
Nice.
'Cause
I mean, I figured.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just
I don't
naturally...
think
I assume all of your characters have red hair unless I'm informed otherwise.
that's pretty much accurate.
Hey, I also have red hair.
So your name's Fiona. You were rescued from a tower by
Yes.
a little green man.
Right.
Yes.
and
Yes,
she's a half
that's
orc.
exactly
With red
what-
hair.
As
And
a
she's
half
half ogre,
ogre.
half human.
Well, we can't tell the other half, but we can assume.
Her ears are kind of rounded.
Hey, another half human!
Feels like a
Just a
plot
very
to
different
a
name.
movie.
Very particular movie.
Oh, I also have an eagle on my shoulder. I kind of
I don't
forgot
know
about
what
that.
Darn, I was hoping for a talking donkey.
See, I those two,
It's an eagle
but
named
that
Donkey.
wasn't in the rule book.
Eagle named Donkey.
So I went for an eagle.
Well, you're both welcome here, so long as you're not active servants to Deathwing.
If you know anything of Deathwing, we could use some information.
Absolutely. Considering that he is likely the source of that flooding that you mentioned previously.
And also, we've
As well as
spotted
that, I
him.
say, pointing at the crack in the ground a little ways off.
We've
Wait,
actively
what's
spotted
that?
him. Well, we've actively spotted him attempting to burn the world. So
Oh, that's nice.
He just
Right, Deathwing. Well, I have been attending the Cult of Deathwing services ever since I was a small child, so of course I should remember most of the things. He is fearsome and dark, and
anything
we
beyond a physical description?
there's something like we're supposed to like do unto others as you would have them do. No. It's do
unto others
do
before they
to
do
others
unto-
before they do to
unto
you.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, I run into that.
Would you like to roll some form of knowledge check to see what you know of Deathwing?
Sure.
Knowledge local would work for you, but if you don't have that one, what other ones do you have?
He's he has no knowledge skills.
Okay.
And not a particularly high.
Just roll me a
intel
general
score.
intelligent intellect check.
Wow, 15.
All right. So you know that Deathwing is a gargantuan, heavily armored black dragon, who your particular tribe of goblins at one point in the past were servants of and have not had contact with for some time, but the cult is quite confident that he will return if they continue to worship him properly and do the services in his name, in service of the true horde.
Interesting.
Yep.
So basically,
Do you share that?
basically, kind of what we already
okay.
know, essentially.
Right.
So
The assumption was correct then. You seemed to react to the Stadius name. You know who that is.
one of the very few Forsaken who continued being a priest of the Holy Light, in spite of its repercussions.
He also runs like a boarding school kind of thing, but like even though you would think with like the undead there'd be like a lot of like kind of scare. I mean, it's a pretty tough place, but you know he's kind of a softie.
I see.
Sorry, but my brain has just finally just caught up and done the full realization of what situation we're in right now, and just what your character is.
I saw you blink
just-
and like recoil like you've just been punched in the face.
For clarification, he is a teenage emo goth assassin who left his goblin clan who worship Deathwing to apparently be in an orphanage or a boarding school of some kind run by Thaddeus, who worships the Holy Light, who told him to go out and help the Horde, but the real Horde, not the true Horde that his goblin clan worship, I think is what we've gotten.
So basically, a Cult of Deathwing teenage rebellion phase.
Yes.
I went through one of those.
You're still in one.
Or maybe you went through one, and it was very similar to this, perhaps.
Look! I've got skills.
Skills.
I rescued an ogre out of a tower. I recruited...
You've rescued me. Just, they got it. Just move on.
I mean, if we come across anything large, we can always feed it.
Okay,
I'll be
I'll
Feed
just
him
sneak
to
up
it.
to him and smack him in the back of the head. See what he's got. What kind of armor he's wearing underneath that.
Sure. Roll me a melee attack roll.
Shouldn't we do opposed initiatives if he's gonna try to like pull something on me here?
Just give it a sec.
He may not hit you. He may not even get close to hitting you.
19.
19, what's your armor class?
My armor class is
I'm
pretty
smacking
close.
up
18.
So,
I
you feel a clap, and you hit the one spot where there isn't armor.
okay.
Just put a hand on your back.
So
I don't need you.
So what kind
Old
of armor?
man.
What kind of armor is that?
Sliding out of the way.
Is this like steel armor, like plate under here? Or just wondering.
And we can just see the dollar signs in his eyes.
Well, no. But what kind of armor you
So
have underneath your
it's
cloak?
concealed heavily by the cloak, so it's
Yeah,
up to
so I
you
can't
whether
see
you
it.
decide
I
to tell
want to
anything.
make a
I'm
spot
not
check to see if
forthcoming.
he put something on his armor.
Oh, yeah, that could be a possibility.
Hey, for only a spot check, yeah.
I mean,
That would've been
yeah, no, on a 17 on the die, and I have an insane spot.
No, he didn't leave anything on his armor.
So
Okay.
I didn't.
He
No joy buzzers.
Didn't attach a joy buzzer.
Or smoke bomb, or kick me sign.
No.
Those can be the most dangerous.
Yeah, the kick me sign.
Especially in present company.
I can't read.
Yeah, but
You can follow by example, however.
Shiana would just use him as her personal, football.
Well, our intentions are to be investigating this area, so if you're going to be hanging around, it's probably safer to have you within sight than lost in the field.
Right. We'll scout it out.
The troll's asleep by now.
Isn't it a bit late though?
Well, first we're going to finish resting for the night.
Oh, that's
we
what
kind of
you were
had a,
doing.
we
Cap,
came into
yes.
a giant scorpion,
Oh,
and I'm still a little run down, so I need to get some sleep.
I want to make a heal check and see if he's okay.
Sure.
I should have it memorized by now.
How many hit points you got?
My hit points,
24.
My hit points are back normal, but my stamina is down.
Oh, right, yeah, he's been poisoned.
To -4. I'm pretty badly poisoned.
Okay. I rolled a 24 on the heal.
Yeah, he's been heavily poisoned.
Okay. Can I make? Oh, are you all right? It looks like you've been poisoned. I mean, since I know a lot about poisons, being an assassin.
Okay.
The scorpion that we fought managed to sting him. I've tried to alleviate the physical damage as much as I could, but
I reach into my the folds of my dark black cloak and pull out and digging around. I pull out what appears to be a black case with scrawled markings on it that you recognize in Goblin saying "torture kit." And
I read Goblin too, so I know what that says as well.
Yeah.
I also read Goblin.
I open it up, and inside there's a lot of antidotes and rolls of bandages and other healing stuff. And I'm going to try to make a healer's check to
Yeah, go
counteract
ahead.
one of-
Roll me a heal check. See if you can.
27.
All right, with the healer's kit, you can issue an anti-venom that will. You only got hit by one dose, right?
Like Tarians and Dahlias.
Yeah, so that will alleviate the one dose of the poison, so you will be restored your full amount of stamina.
Okay. Yay.
That's
That's
a
a,
trick
that
we
works.
learn in the field.
That's a very interesting torture kit, I must say.
It only looks like healing goods to the untrained eye. The difference between a doctor and a
Assassin?
demented. There's got to be something like a doctor that's scary.
A dentist?
Leave me alone. He puts his kid away and goes off to sleep in his own corner.
Brick, will you take the rest of your watch?
Okay. So
You're
we're...
welcome to join by the campfire.
Thank you.
I put the great sword up. And
Alright.
go back to sleep.
So after Bella.
The rest of the watches go relatively uneventfully unless any of you have any conversations that you want to have over the course of the next several hours.
I think we've had enough conversation.
Alright. So you all get a full night's rest. You all get a long rest in. You heal all your hit points. You get all your mana back. And
I did cast Markkin on everyone prior to going to sleep, as I normally do.
Do you include those two?
Yeah. So, basically, before going to sleep, I cut my hand and in a ritualistic fashion, just sort of draw a line of blood across your foreheads while chanting to the spirits.
Correction. He tries. What is the response?
I watch your response.
This will help
with great interest.
I'm back.
This will help the spirits protect you while you are with us.
As suspicious as it seems, you can legitimately trust him. He's more trustworthy than
He looks.
most anyone else in our group.
I am a shaman.
Let's set those bars real low, why don't we?
I'm 100% trustworthy.
Okay then.
I mean, you see me do it on all the others as well.
Okay, sure. Why not?
You are now recognized as bloodkin to me, which means that things like my ancestral healing totem will work on you.
Okay, sure.
What about cruel? What is your response to this?
I mean, you're getting blood put on your forehead, man. That's hardcore. That's hardcore.
That is hardcore.
Yeah. Colors in blood, he says. He reaches down to like cut his own hand.
You don't need to do
Don't
that.
need to do that.
Oh,
Only I do.
right.
Because I thought your blade was poisoned.
Oh.
That would have sucked! Oh, wait!
Get that case out again.
Alright, so you all finish your long rest.
Good thing the party has a healer to help out our assassin.
Alright, so yeah, the part you get a full long rest in and you wake up the next morning with the rise of the sun.
What was our actual task?
You were told to investigate the source of the overgrowth and see if the terrain, because it seems to be fertile and potentially has good, food and water, can be claimed for the Horde.
And also because, ominous, foreboding visions told us that this place could, go up in flames.
Did the visions or the spirits tell me, give me any, sort of indicator of, a source of this overgrowth?
Just somewhere in the center of it.
Oh.
You have to hit that urge.
At sunrise, Cruz sneaks off for about an hour for his own purposes and then regroups.
Alright.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I make a spot check to figure out if there's what's different?
Roll spot.
He's the only
Roll
person who
stealth.
cares.
Stealth.
It's either 18 or 19. 18.
24.
So, he definitely sees you leave and sees you come back. Is there anything different about you when you return?
Nope. I just snuck off.
Okay.
Unless he follows me.
No.
Nothing to learn.
Well, our destination would seem to be in the center of this overgrowth, so bearing in mind that there are apparently giant scorpions around, let us proceed.
So So you make your way further in, and over the course of the next couple of hours, you manage to make your way closer to the center, and you begin to see, instead of just the green grass, you begin to see trees. And trees at all are not native to the Barrens, aside from the occasional, very tall, lone tree, the kind of tree one might see in a savanna or a grassland. Like very individual trees, just kind of one every now and then. But you start to see forest trees, like evergreens.
Any wildlife?
Roll me a survival check.
Yeah, I'll be looking for that as well.
Wildlife thing, bruh. 24.
24.
26.
26.
15.
You do start to see some wildlife. You see a variety of snakes, some highly increased number of insects. You see the signs of small canine tracks. You don't see any of the canines. You see a lot of vine growth that is heavily yanked out of position, which implies some kind of climbing animals.
Well, now that we're actually in it, can I do a nature check or something to see if this is... I mean, it's obviously not natural growth, but if it's natural or not.
Yeah, roll me...
something has caused this, but if whatever caused it was a natural source of
nature or the plains.
Yeah, things shifting.
I want to investigate
Nature
more
or the
of...
plains.
I want to investigate
22.
more of are the trees rooted in the clay, or are they is it soil around them, or are they shallow roots?
Yeah, has the clay been terraformed? Basically, I'm looking for has this place been terraformed or what?
Roll me knowledge, nature, or survival. You want to roll anything?
Yeah.
You can roll the plains if you want to. What'd you roll?
Just sort of looking
22.
What was the
nature?
Nature. So, aside from the positioning, these plants seem to be perfectly mundane plants for the most part. They have dug roots into soil. There is no clay here. There is soil here.
19.
19. Yeah, it's soil all the way through around here. There is no sign of clay, which is strange because you know just beyond this is on your map you've marked the site of the massive lava spewing scar in the earth. Which is a little close for any green life, let alone green life that shouldn't be here.
Can we still see the scar in the earth?
If you look, it's hard to see through the tree line because of how the trees break vision, but you can just ever so faintly see what looks to be rocky outcropping to the north.
And 21 for
Plains?
yeah.
This... You've only heard of it a few times, and mostly in conversation with night elves, who came to speak while you were still among the Alliance. This smacks of a place that the night elves call the Emerald Dream, which, according to what you have learned, is the place that all sentient beings go when they dream. All dreams come from the Emerald
Just had
Dream.
it so we get it through.
And it is said to be Azeroth as if it had never been touched by sentient hands.
I sort of drop down, pull out a dagger, stab into the ground, and pull back up like a soil sample. The ground here is not from the Barrens. This is soil, not clay. As if somebody has transplanted this strip of land from somewhere else.
Now, the wildlife we've seen is still all stuff from the Barrens. We've just seen tracks and indications of other animals, right?
Basically, yeah. All you've seen is still stuff that's come from the Barrens.
So it's almost like someone just lifted a forest without any of the life and dropped it here.
Yeah, and completely replaced the clay. Like, not even on top of it.
Not even replaced, because they took the signs of the life that was where it was.
Yeah.
Like transplanting a tree.
Like somebody copy
massive
pasted
scale.
a forest.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Emerald Dream?
Have I ever heard of the Emerald Dream?
Well, we all like planes.
17.
You've heard of, but you know it's something that druids deal with, and that's about it.
It's a druidic term.
I've heard it from the Night Elves. It's a plane where all living beings go during their dreams, and it's said that it's full of wildlife, or at the very least full of plants, that living and sentient beings are not present there.
You should know, animal life is there, nothing sentient.
Animal life, okay. It would explain the foreboding dreams and how jarring this transition is, if perhaps it was leaking.
So
rifts in planes would
the
certainly just be one more thing to add onto the pile of how the world is going wrong.
We could be operating on the assumption that the catastrophe caused by Deathwing's re-emergence has somehow sundered the boundaries between this plane and the Emerald Dream. That doesn't seem good.
Not particularly, no.
Do I know of any, like, Tauren druids that would be in the area, or might be in the area?
Roll me knowledge local or knowledge military.
I have neither of those.
Roll me, what knowledge do you have?
Nature, planes, religion, arcana.
Just roll me an intelligence check.
10.
Nope.
Yeah. Brick, do you know if any of your people that practice druidic arts are in the area, would be in the area?
Whatever for that. The same things? Or?
Yeah. You have knowledge local?
No.
You have knowledge military?
No.
What knowledge do you have?
Arcane nature.
No, you can roll me an intelligence check, though.
Okay.
You have a better chance of knowing than I do.
Yeah.
Just flat out.
You really do.
16.
16?
Yep.
So the Cenarian Circle is the name for the organization of druids. It is a bipartisan organization, sort of like the Earthen Ring is for shamans. It has members from both the Alliance and from the Horde. There is one member of the Cenarian Circle who sort of travels a lot around Tauren lands by the name of Muyo. He is a Tauren who is a disciple of a night elf by the name of Naralex. And you know that he tends to wander around the Barrens from Mulgore. Whenever he leaves Mulgore, he tends to work around this area in general. It's Muyooh is his name. And that's all you know. You don't know if he's here. But this seems like a place that a druid might pay attention to.
Mm-hmm. I relay that to them.
We should continue investigating here, but once we return, we should try to some means to reach out to this Muyo then. Muyo then. We could use a druid's expertise on this matter.
I imagine, given the nature of this situation, we should be able to find druids around here. I imagine they'd be drawn to this.
Theoretically.
Listen check?
Listen check.
Oh, I'll with those too.
20!
19.
19.
16.
23.
12.
30. I get a plus 13.
17.
I get a plus 7.
I get a plus 1.
Okay.
I get a -1.
I have a 20 wisdom, and my class gives me a +2 racial bonus.
Gotcha.
He listens like no one else.
I have a 16.
And I spot like no one else too, so they're both 13s.
I'm very much an all-rounder here on the thing.
I survive.
You're a survivor.
I am very much a survivor.
So those of you who rolled above a 17,
A 17 or above a 17?
At a 17 or above.
Okay, cool.
You start to hear rustling of vines, sort of the foliage being moved around.
The great sword is out. Can I see what direction it's coming from? Or tell what
Can
direction?
Oh, I bet there's gonna be more allies.
Can I? Yeah. What directions?
I mean hoarders. We're hoarders, not alliances. But
Be quiet.
Or something that wants to eat.
Like, can I tell what
Shut
direction
up.
it's from, or possibly how big it is, maybe?
It's coming from the tree to your left.
The tree to your left.
Can I tell it from the
Right
tree?
next to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to approach that tree.
I'm going
And
to
see
step
if it
slightly
tries
away
to
from that
eat me.
tree and observe.
I'm going to shield up.
Con-based trap detector.
Can I use the goblin as a shield?
I draw my
Which
sword.
goblin?
The new one.
You'd have to use both of them, really. You'd have to stack them
I
on
only
top of
have
each
one
other.
arm. Okay.
Yeah, that's the problem. You have to stack one on top of the other.
So as you approach
And I'm going
the
to
tree,
also, really quickly, where is...
Oh, shouldn't we look out for the little lady? The unarmed, the handicapped woman.
I put my hand over his mouth.
She will kill you.
Just.
I mean, I don't care.
I put my hand over your mouth.
He walks back and takes the head. Sword out.
Yeah, I figured I'll go ahead and cast Brace on you for the mainly for the
Yay.
+2 AC.
so as you
His
as
armor might preclude him from getting... Oh, wait, you're wearing a breastplate, aren't you?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh.
as you
I mean, if
as
it did,
you-
I could just cast a different AC buffing spell, but...
as you approach, you notice that there's a number of different, types of plant matter that have
Also
grown
give you
across the trunk
+4
of this
agility,
tree.
so.
Various different vines and plant growths ranging in a variety of colors, from greens to purples to reds to browns. And there is a series of vines and petals curled around the base of this trunk, blood red in coloration, that begin to unravel and twist up as you approach. And it sort of... a series of vines and plant life begins to slide together into a vaguely upright shape as a flower stares you in the face and then opens up in 4 sections, displaying a series of very sharp thorns as the plant proceeds to try and attack you. We're going to roll
Yep.
some initiative.
Yep.
Woo!
Oh man, plant monsters.
Do I roll the initiative for my eagle too?
The eagle will go on your turn.
My initiative is currently up by 2, which is nice.
I rolled a 6.
Hey, so did I.
Hey, I may beat you to the bottom here. I have.
I got a
this
rock.
reputation.
11!
22.
Alright, so let's do our typical.
Yeah, give me
Yeah,
one
those
second.
2 first.
I'm on a roll tonight.
So, Shiana goes first, then... Wait.
Okay, hang on. So,
I mean, show them my roll
25 to 20.
22.
22.
Oh, 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you.
We're right there.
Right.
We're right there.
This time.
I'm not going last, though, so that's nice.
Oh, hold on, I forgot to roll for my dagger.
Oh, yeah,
Wait, what?
what is your dagger?
Oh, something different today. My dagger's a whale.
What?
Whale size whale. What does whale give you?
Constitution and wisdom.
I mean, that's not
Or
bad.
stamina and spirit.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I have more hit points today.
Pray magical
And to
whale
regenerate
overnight.
more.
Magical
And
whale
my
knife,
dagger has whale skin on the handle.
which is probably very confusing for you.
Which is ultra confusing.
Yeah, it's just like very smooth, very almost like scaly kind of
But
flesh.
it's not scaly.
No, it's not scaly. It's
Yeah,
leathery.
that's-
Leathery.
they have hide.
Leathery, yeah.
Very
It's really thick.
Yeah, really thick
leather
and
rubbery,
really
yeah.
smooth, kind of rubbery.
Yeah.
That would make a very poor grip,
It's
honestly.
well, no. Like it's
If it's like
it's a
dried
comfort
out.
grip. It's an ergonomic grip, basically.
Memory foam.
Yeah.
Ye olde memory foam. Just skin a whale.
Okay, 20 to 15.
Oh, 18. Oh,
18.
sorry, 17.
17.
Oh, wow,
I
that's
forget, I
really
get a -1. But, you know.
Why are the two of us so early in the initiative?
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, a different plane is leaking out into this world. Apparently, it's giving me good luck.
15 to 10.
13.
My 18 agility gave me an 11.
11.
Oh.
13.
Okay.
I have 18 agility right
Yeah,
now
also
too.
11.
I'm also 11.
What's your agility? It's 12.
14.
14?
So plus 2.
So yeah, you go. We'll go first.
I rolled 12.
Who went first?
You got 12?
I ain't paying attention.
Him. Okay. You said you, and then
I pointed
the
it.
screen.
There's a screen in the way.
There's a screen, yeah, blocking my view.
Brick got a 12.
Yeah.
So Brick goes before both of you.
So 13 is Josh, 12 is Brick, and then Jang and Fiona.
And then crew goes last.
And then Crew, what's your initiative?
6.
6. You go after the
Including
blood petal.
The agility.
You go after the plant.
You're slow without a plant.
Alright, so, Shiona, you are up first.
Alright. How big is this thing?
It's about human-sized, you would say, judging by what you remember a human looks like,
Alright. I want to go...
judging by what Leaf looks like.
Just a little bit shorter.
I'm going to try to slash at the area that's, like, connecting it to the stem.
It seems to have uprooted itself, so it's ambulatory.
Oh. Never mind.
It's an ambulatory plant.
Just flank it and stab.
Okay, I'm just going to stab then, and let's see what happens.
You get
Stab first, ask questions about biology later.
Bonus.
Yeah, because you're already adjacent to it.
But I don't think you can sneak attack a plant.
Nope.
You're typically immune to that.
If you have knowledge botany, you get advantage.
Knowledge botany, you can crit plants.
That's 4, yeah.
I don't have that. I should.
Still 17.
Not quite. As you
I
dig
rolled
this, as you dig the blades of your claws into it, it definitely makes purchase. But this thing is made of plant matter, and you can't actually tell that you did any damage to it.
Okay.
Then Garrick.
I cast Rock Biter Weapon.
Okay. That's your turn.
That's my turn.
Leaf.
There's a bunch of really good spells against plants that no one ever prepared because
They're against plants.
yeah.
I mean, they're also mostly druid spells.
More damage
No,
against this thing sounds
Sapphire
like a
had a
good
ton.
plan. So, Bull's strength on the troll.
All right.
You
This
got
would be
strength.
The troll is now channeling both the bull and the whale.
Bull whale.
The bull whale. Well, I mean, male whales are bulls, so it doesn't specify which bull animal it is.
Okay, then.
It does. It's a bull.
It's a bull.
No, it just says bull strength, and male whales are bulls.
Yeah, that's fair.
True.
So you have the strength of the whale.
You are now the alpha whale.
All right.
Awful whale.
Josh, what you got?
Oh, somebody's got to hit this thing, so...
Pull out a weed whacker.
16.
16? Not quite.
Go gadget.
You
Weed
fire
whacker.
the crossbow and it just entangles itself in the vines and writhing
Yeah.
mass that is this plant. Then we have Brick.
I will activate Mark of the Tiger and Mark of Magic Striking.
Alright, so you get a +1 bonus, magic bonus to your fist. They are considered magic weapons. And you get claws.
Mega class.
Alright.
Clawed bulls.
Yes.
Fiona.
Yes.
I thought I was going after.
Oh, sorry, Jang. Yeah, sorry.
I was like, yeah.
I forgot. You're both in the same. Yeah, both the same.
I guess I will. I'm gonna sting it. I'm gonna use my hunter sting because I'm a melee hunter.
Oh.
So raptor strike.
Yeah, because you are specifically the melee hunter variant.
What are we talking now?
Well,
On your feet, I think.
You have to roll higher than a 6, though.
hold on. I was bull strength.
Oh, never mind. It's probably one of those.
19
Oh yeah.
Oh,
with the flanking and the bowl and the.
Not quite. You dig the axe in. You dig your spear into it, and it like almost takes your spear away from you as the vines kind of wrap around it.
This has like an AC 20.
All right, let's bite it.
Salad.
That's a natural 20.
You hit, and you can't get double damage because it's a plant, but
Aw.
Yes. I bite the plant. Ugh.
You do indeed enjoy the salad bar.
And that's 8 damage.
all right.
Oh no, hold on. Bites are strength and a half. But not when offhand, so it's 8 damage.
8 damage
How is your bite offhand?
when it's not your primary
And
attack.
it's not my primary weapon.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how you offhand bite somebody. That's not a bite, though. That's a grab.
And that's on your hand.
It's also is your hand, not offhand.
But it's my offhand.
What if you're that one?
But what if I don't have an offhand?
Yes.
My dexterity is ruining me.
Like, it's like you grab your jaw and go. That's how it's offhand.
Potion.
Piercing
Or
damage
if you're that
against
character
a
from
plant
Naruto.
isn't gonna do much, is it?
It'll do something.
They are.
It'll
Shooting
technically
it?
do something.
You gotta do so. You gotta try it. And that's your best
Who knows?
weapon.
Try to shoot it,
Okay.
why not?
I'll try to shoot it.
I feel like we
Oh,
might
Oh,
win
and
it.
also, because you attacked it with a natural weapon,
All right.
you would get pierced with thorns. You take 3 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
Piercing and slashing.
Awesome. Guess how much I regenerate around?
I know.
Don't care.
My faith has been scratched.
Unless you have fire of some kind.
Let's not burn down the forest, please.
Oh, hey.
That's this part of it.
I do have fire.
Let's definitely burn down the forest.
It sounds like a very goblin strategy.
Yes. That's why I was so
20. I rolled a 24.
You hit. Roll damage.
Yay.
This thing.
Is it D6 or D8?
D8.
Longbows are a D8.
4
4? Yeah.
plus. Oh.
Wait, have plus? Wait.
You add your pluses for your strength.
No,
ability.
you don't add your modifiers for bow damage unless you have the composite bow.
Only
So, yeah,
in 5e do you
Composite?
add your
Or
modifiers.
You have longbow. You have longbow?
Yes, I have
Oh,
a
okay.
longbow.
All right, never
I have a
mind.
longbow.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
4.
4?
Oh, and I have
Yeah, rapid shot.
Rapid
Yeah,
shot.
5e made bows better.
Shoot again.
Right.
No, bows
Yeah.
are super broken in 3.5 if you know what you're doing.
Oh, good. I don't. But
I mean, there's a lot of things
12.
that are broken in 3.5 if you know what you're doing.
12 is not quite it.
Better does
Yeah.
not necessarily mean stronger, Austin.
The way you implied it, though.
Okay.
Alright, so you deal 4 damage to it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah.
Does it appear to have been injured by that?
It does definitely seem to have taken the hit. Alright, so that brings us back around to it's actually the plant's turn.
What about, oh yeah.
Before
right.
it goes, I'm going to Earth Shock it.
Okay. Which just deals how much damage to
It
it?
just takes D4. It takes a D4 points of damage. So
Immediate
You
action
need to do that
spell.
as a
yeah,
reaction.
it takes
It's
4
a
points of damage.
reaction. Yeah, he can do,
Oh.
or immediate action. He can do it once per round. He can spend a mana to deal a D4.
Yep, it takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
It never gets better.
As I just basically hand down a chunk of earth comes up and I just fling it forward.
He threw a rock at it.
He threw a rock with magic.
A sharp rock.
A magic rock.
Yay.
I mean, the rock wasn't magic. It was just magic.
Yeah, well.
It's basically like you got your hand on your sword and you just do that the telekinetic gesture of you just like bring 2 fingers up and then a rock just flies off the ground
Yeah,
at someone.
just force throw a rock at them. Just
It's like when Darth Vader throwing junk at Luke, and he's like, "I don't actually want to hurt you right now. I'm just messing with you."
Well, it also like wrecks spellcasters, but unfortunately-
It's meant to stop spellcasters. Yes.
Yeah, it's meant to interrupt concentration.
Gotcha.
Come at me, plant. I dealt damage.
So yeah, you did deal damage to it,
I also dealt damage.
and so did he. So it's gonna put both of its slam attacks at you.
Yeah.
Genitol.
Yeah.
What's your AC?
Constitution. Oh, you do.
And it's plus 2
That's a
right
natural 20.
now. Come at me, bro.
You're gonna take.
Also, he regens health.
That's a good thing.
You're gonna take 12 points of piercing damage
You
because
keep
it's.
critting me, by the way. I do not appreciate that.
And I need you to make a fortitude save.
Oh no,
Poison.
I don't make fort saves at all. I'm a whale though, so 16.
Yeah, it's a failure.
Yeah,
Fail whale.
fail whale.
Will fail.
You take 3 points of agility damage.
Ow.
Like agility damage. That's not my thing.
And then a secondary attack. That is a 29 to hit you,
Yes, that hits.
which will deal 4 points of damage. I forget, can you get poisoned more than once? By the same poison?
Yes.
So make another fortitude save.
Oh, good.
That's leaning very much.
Yeah.
20 a lot.
You're good. And because you got hit by both of its attacks, the piercing thorns pierce through your body
What's
as it
your
strikes
hit point
you.
maximum?
Right now,
Yeah.
48.
Okay, cool. I just need to know when I need to emergency heal.
You take an
and that's not
addition.
gonna
You
be
take an
for a
additional
while.
6 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That does not carry poison.
My hit point maximum is 32.
It crit me and wailed on me all round, and I'm at half HP until my next turn, in which case I heal myself back up above half.
Alright, crew. You have just seen this plant lash out at this troll with a variety of different.
Where's
seem to be venom-tipped thorns.
Where's Thaddeus and his zombies when I've got plants to kill? Ah! And I attack with my sword.
We're not playing Plants vs. Zombies.
Yes, we are.
Slightly dated reference, but it's a classic.
It is a classic.
It has newer games coming out.
Yeah.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Yes, but are
has
they?
Two Garden Warfare.
Yeah, Garden Warfare 2 came out only like 2 years ago.
How does that? What? Okay.
Nothing.
The
All right.
more recent version came out 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I attack.
Are you doing anything special with this attack, or just?
Just a regular attack.
Alright. What you got?
24.
More
That
recent
definitely
than, like,
hits.
6 years
Roll
ago.
damage.
First one came. More recent than like 6 years ago when the first one came out.
2 damage.
Really?
Yeah.
You not add your strength?
I did add my strength.
You have a strength?
Yes. That's why it wasn't a 1. It was the lowest it could possibly have been.
Well,
Yeah, you're
2 damage.
you deal the 2 damage, and because you hit with a handheld weapon, you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Which brings us back to the top, Shiana, who is not here.
I assume she stabs it.
I'm assuming she stabs. Go ahead and roll an attack.
That's what she rolled last time.
It's 1 higher than she rolled last time, I think.
Oh no, she rolled a 6 last time.
Let's let her roll for herself.
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Austin rolled poorly. Roll an attack. I'm assuming you're stabbing the thing.
Yes.
Are you raging?
Yeah.
Rage
I like
stab.
rage.
Rage.
The sky is blue. Austin rolled poorly.
That's much better.
So that's a 20. That's a 20
What
plus
am I adding
7.
to this?
So 27 plus an extra 2.
Okay, so 28. 9.
Rage.
29.
Sorry.
Yes, you deal damage.
Okay.
And don't forget to add 2 to your damage for raging.
Because you hit it with a handheld weapon, as handheld as it gets, you take 2 points of piercing damage.
It's not technically handheld so much as it is literally
Hand-mounted.
strapped to her hand.
Hand-mounted weapon. Max damage.
4 is 15.
15.
15.
Nice.
1d6 plus 4?
10.
10.
10.
Sorry.
Only 5 short.
Sorry.
Alright. So, that brings us back to Garrick.
I've noticed that it hurts people when they hit it.
You have. At least when they hit it with weapons that don't have a whole lot of reach. Because it seems like when they hit them, they basically can't manage to escape the thorns that are covering this plant's body.
Do I have any idea as to whether or not fire would be super effective on this? Other than it's a plant.
I mean,
It makes sense.
is fire weakness one of the plant traits?
I don't think
know.
it is.
I mean,
they're immune to electricity, and that's all I
fire
really
is super
know.
effective against grass types.
Yes.
But I don't think plants are typically weak to fire because living plants are no more flammable than people. In fact, they're typically less flammable than people.
Yeah. I mean, fire you know will be effective. You don't know about more effective.
Yeah, but it's a reflex save, and it's not that much damage.
Yeah, but plants' reflex saves suck, typically. They're plants?
Yeah, but this one.
Watch the flower dodge!
Well, in that case, I'm going to spend... How does it work when you're spending for caster level?
So you can spend up to your caster level, which is usually your level.
Yeah, so if it's a second level spell,
You
Class
spend
3.
it would be 3, then I'm level 4.
You can spend
so I
one more
can-
to make it 4.
So,
Basically, you can spend your level in mana to make it as high as
would it be 1 more or would it be 2 more because it's a second level spell?
One more.
One more.
Alright,
Basically, casting at max caster level is always going to be casting your level worth of mana
okay.
because of how things scale.
Then I will spend 4 mana to cast Flame Shock at it. It needs to make a reflex save.
Okay.
What damage does Flame Shock do?
44. 44 points of fire damage when I cast it at full
Oh, is it
level.
D4 per level?
Yeah, D4 per level.
Nice.
You can basically, the mana cost of the spell is the caster level you would have to be to cast it. You
Okay.
have to be 3rd level caster to cast a 2nd level spell.
Yeah.
And it rolls an 11.
Which I don't think is enough.
No.
So it takes 44 points of fire damage as fire erupts from my free hand into it. 4, 7, 9, 13 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Pretty good.
And then I'm just going to follow that up with an earth shock for another 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fire! Earth!
That would be the earth and fire part of storm, earth, and fire.
Yeah.
Is that 2 points?
Yep, 2 points of bludgeoning.
I mean, you are the storm shaman. Alright, Leaf. What have you got?
Can I tell how injured this plant is looking?
It's a plant.
I mean,
It's also on fire. Sorry, the reflex save is not for the damage, it's to avoid being set on fire.
Cool, it's on fire.
Which means it takes additional... I mean, it takes whatever damage you take from being on fire. The spell doesn't specify how much that is.
I
I
think
believe it's a
1d6
D6 per round
later.
until you spend an action to put yourself. You can either use a move action to make a reflex save to put it out, or you can use a full action to just put it out.
And is that on its turn it takes a d6?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I will double check those rules, but I'm fairly confident with that.
On fire.
I don't see any. The thing's probably going to keep attacking the troll, I'd imagine.
I don't know, I just set it on
Yeah.
fire.
He did just set it on fire, but I hope he attacks the troll, because that's what the troll does in the party.
But if the troll's on fire and it grapples the troll, does that deal fire damage to the troll?
Whatever.
I'm gonna.
Simple heal.
If it does start attacking you and you fail more fortitude saves, then that's bad. So I'm going to make your fortitude save even more absurd. So, bear's endurance.
Sure, I'm a whale bear.
The whole
Which one of those is better?
I actually
Oh wait, no,
I
it's
already
an
have
enhancement
a
bonus.
Yeah, I already have a Constitution enhancement bonus.
Okay.
Alright, but it's +4. What's the whale give you?
I think it's
Plus
+2.
And
So better.
Bear's better
You can do
than...
a small heal.
Yeah.
You would heal him for 4
You're
hit
still
points.
like
Just to do a small
half
heal.
hit. You're still like well over half your hit points, right?
I'm just over half HP,
Okay.
and I'm about to be more over half
So
HP.
it would be a +1 to its fortitude saves. Is what you'd effectively give it.
Or I could give you a +2 to your fortitude saves in case it starts.
I mean,
attacking
yeah, that would be
you,
nice.
so You're the other melee fighter here, so bear's endurance.
Okay. At the end of your turn, it's going to use one of its legendary actions.
This plant has legendary actions.
Ooh, legendary actions are one of the
Legendary
best things to come out of 5th edition.
They are. They're pretty nice.
Crew.
Uh-oh.
As you are wondering what next to do to this plant, a vine erupts from the ground under your feet and lashes out at you.
Okay.
That is a 30 to hit you.
A 30?
Yes.
Yeah, that hits.
You will take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a fortitude save. You're good at those, right?
I'm okay at those. Hold on a second. Let me look those up real quick. Alright. Yes, fortitude save, ready to go. It is 12.
Not quite good enough.
No.
But, are you immune to poisons?
Are goblins immune to poisons?
Goblins are not immune to poison.
I'm not immune to poisons.
Is your-
no.
Okay, you're not? Okay.
I'm not immune to
Diseases,
poisons.
right.
Diseases.
You take 1 point of agility damage.
Okay.
Is he an assassin paladin?
No. He's been lying.
Is he a paladin?
And as that is the end of Leaf's turn. Josh, what you got? The plant was angry because you did a lot of damage to it, so it started using legendary actions.
Gotcha.
Is that poor phlogiston on it?
What happens when
What
you
is
introduce
phlogiston
phlogiston
to
to
plant?
fire?
Burning fire.
It's already on fire.
It's already on
It's
fire.
already-
Phlogiston
Fire.
is like super explosive
It's gonna be
gasoline.
explosive.
Yeah.
So you blew
how
up
close are you
everybody's
guys?
close to
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty sure it has a blast
party.
radius.
It has a blast.
do I know how much the blast radius is on this?
Just on a vial?
Yeah, it's developed.
If you threw a vial into a fire, roll me an engineering check with your intelligence to know how big of an explosion that would be.
Oh no.
22.
You're probably looking at like a 10-foot 2d6 or 3d6 explosion on just a vial if you throw it into a fire.
Yeah.
So everyone that's in melee with it. But
Yeah, that's a whole bunch of people there.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna go with the.
But it'd be easier to hit with the vial than
It
with your
would be.
crossbow.
I know. That's the thing.
And it would do
actually
more
hit it.
damage.
That's true. Everybody can heal up later. Well, I'm just worried about him.
Worry about who?
Also, they get to make a reflex save to try and get out of the way, so, you know.
I now have 40 hit points, so
I don't know. I only have one vial, and
That's
I
adorable.
don't know. I might need it later.
only
I'm just gonna
8
shoot
lower
it.
than your
I'm
maximum.
just gonna. Oh, I might actually do something. 22.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that a
I did
natural
something.
20?
No.
Okay. You still hit him.
His base attack bonus isn't quite that pathetic.
That's pathetic.
No. 1 point.
Three points of damage.
No, it's not bad. I mean,
Tree.
Yeah.
it's not a 1.
I rolled
It,
one.
it,
Oh.
That's as low as I can go.
yeah,
Oh, then never mind.
it was a 1.
It was. Yeah.
I do find it funny that I'm routinely doing more damage on a D4 than other people are doing on D6s.
Yeah.
Rick, what you got?
Charge it.
Alright, charge it. Punch it.
Punch the plant!
Punch the thorny plant.
I mean, he can
Well,
take the
somebody
punch
has
and
to do
usually
something. Yeah,
dish
he
out
can
better
take
than he can.
That is a 17.
17 just misses.
Aw, man.
Are you including your flanking bonus?
Did you get you have
You have a +4 flanking.
plus 4 for
bonus.
flanking.
Plus 2 for charging.
I didn't at the flanking one, so.
So that puts you at 21. That hits.
Yes.
Roll damage.
Ah.
In exchange, you take 6 points of piercing
Mark
damage.
Kin, I have to spend a lot of mana every night to keep it up, but it has benefits.
And this plant can be flanked. Some plants
What does it
can't.
do again?
It just gives you a +4 to your flanking bonus, and also allows me to heal you with my ancestral healing totem.
Okay.
Which is a totem that heals only my bloodkin, so I can put it because normal healing totem heals everybody in its radius. I can put this down when we're in the middle of melee combat, and it'll only heal people that I've marked kin on,
Or people who are actually related
or people
to
who are
you.
actually related to me. Which,
So don't-
fortunately, most of them are dead.
Are dead. Yeah.
Which, fortunately, most of them are dead. Wait,
Yes.
what?
Yes.
He did it.
Yeah, he can't. He
Right, this part of the backstory that I still don't know about.
Yeah,
Great.
you guys, none of you know about his backstory.
6.
6. Alright, 6 points of damage. You take 6 piercing damage from the thorns.
Okay.
My character's in for a wild ride this campaign.
You're the one that chose to play that one.
Oh no,
I
you would not. Leaf would not think less of Garrick for his backstory.
We'll see.
Because he's
Knowing,
We'll see.
he knew what they were and got
We'll
rid of them.
see.
knowing what,
He had to step up and do something about it.
knowing what I know about Leaf.
Okay.
We'll see.
Jang.
Leaf
Yeah, I'm
probably
stinging
be
it.
very sad, but I don't think it would be mad.
We will see.
Come on. Get out of here. There we go. Oh, by the way, 30 hits, right?
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, that's a 32. I've got a bolt strength on. We're flanking, and I'm getting +4 for that.
Gotcha.
12 points of damage with a dagger,
Alright.
Nice.
which is impressive for a dagger.
It is a +1 dagger.
Yes, it's a +1 dagger. It's not an animal, so it's not animal's bane, but you know. And I'm gonna bite it.
For the first dagger strike, you take 4 points of piercing damage.
I need to get the table that doesn't lean dice quite so much.
I mean,
That's
I
12.
hear you're working on that.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got other things to fix, like my house, like the deck that I walk through.
Yes.
Not on,
Yeah,
through,
no.
it's a problem.
That's priority 1 right
What
now.
did you do?
If you walk on my deck, you can walk through it.
The ramp.
Oh.
The ramp.
Does a 19 hit?
No, not
Clipping errors.
Okay.
At the end of your turn, however,
Clipping errors in real life.
Vine erupts out of the ground and tries to grapple you. I'm going to make a touch attack first. I think a 19 hit your touch AC.
Yeah.
Roll a grapple check.
I think it wins. Yes. it wins. I mean 12, but it probably wins.
Over 20. So you take.
I know Crash was broken, but I mean, it would be nice.
You take 7 points of piercing and slashing damage from the thorns as it grapples you.
We're getting eaten by a plant.
How does
Is
he
he
look
on
like he's
fire
doing?
now as well?
No, the vines are not on fire. The vines that are reaching out from the ground are not on fire.
Okay. And how are you doing hit points wise?
I'm about half.
Okay.
Then Fiona, what you got?
Shooting.
All right, roll me an attack.
I have a bow. I'm gonna shoot it. Not like that though. That's a 15.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Let's try that.
You have another one.
I have
Just
another one. Let's
2 points lower on the bonus.
Come on, come on, come on. Dang it. 17.
Oh.
No, that's not. Wait. What are?
Roll
Are you flanking them?
19.
No.
Just
No,
like-
no,
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 just-
no.
you
I'm
can't- you can't-
shooting.
Oh wait, no. You're within 30 feet. You have point blank shot. That's actually going to be an extra +1 to hit and to damage.
So that was
So
a.
that's a 20 exactly. So that hits.
Hey! There we go. Okay, so that's a
D8. Add 1 to it.
6.
Nice.
All right, 6 more damage.
Ta-da.
Twang, twang.
So the second arrow bites down. And at the end of your turn, it's going to use its third and final legendary action before it gets them back on its turn. You know what, Garrick? You've been throwing fire at it. A vine whip's going to come out
I
at
did
you.
throw fire at it.
It's going to be a 29 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
That'll deal
My increased AC does not help.
8 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a fortitude save.
Alright. That puts me back at my traditional hit point maximum. 20.
20? You're good.
Yay!
You found out the poison.
Thank you for the bull's endurance.
All right.
And then there's Blood Petal's turn.
Because that would have been lower.
He gets his legendary actions back and is going to...
And it takes
Yep, it takes D6.
5 points of fire damage.
5 points of fire damage.
Nice.
And then it's going to... You know, it's going to flail at Garrick.
Aww.
Because the Garrick's the one that put it on fire.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
It's going to be 4 points of piercing damage, make another fortitude save,
Stop attacking the DPS.
and a 27 to hit.
Another 20. 27 hits.
That's going to be 4 points of piercing damage, make another fortitude save.
19 on the die.
You make it.
Yeah.
And then, because you got hit by both the slam attack, that's another 8 points of piercing and
So
slashing.
what's the total amount of damage?
16 total.
16 total?
Yep, 16.
Ow.
Roll minimal damage on both
32
of the
minus
slams.
16.
Pardon?
16.
16.
Yeah.
You're at exactly
I'm
half
at
of that.
You're literal half.
Well, I'm lower than half because my max is higher now.
Yeah.
And that is the Blood Petal's turn. Crew, what you got?
If it does that to me again, I'm down.
Yeah, I will fix that.
How am I adjacent to these folks? Can I touch him
You can...
without invoking an attack?
You need a
of
5-foot shift, but you could.
Okay.
Lay on hands?
You gotta do it.
Caught in a moment of sudden concern for his injured companion, he Crew 5 foot steps over and touches him, and for a moment there's a glow of light. His face brightens up. The cloak lifts, revealing that underneath the black cloak is a pure, polished white inlaid with gold cloak. And you're restored 15 hit points.
Double cloak.
Double cloak. Isn't it hot in there?
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's
white
really
one is
hot.
nice and light.
And you've got like plate mail or something under
It's-
that double cloak?
I mean, the second layer keeps the second layer keeps the cold in because insulation works both ways.
Sure!
Keep your physics out of this game.
Do I know what a I'm assuming I know what a paladin
You know what a paladin
Yes,
is.
you know what paladin is.
You're a paladin? I thought you were an assassin.
No, I kill people for great justice. Crusader, like kinda sometimes.
Crusader.
Just kill the darn plant here.
Working on it.
It's Crusadar, not Crudagar.
Yeah,
All right. So, crew, that's your turn. Shiana, you're up. What you got?
Okay.
Do some gardening.
Shauna's estimation goes lower, and
Now it's a subterranean opinion.
27.
That hits. Roll damage. In exchange, you take 4 points of piercing damage.
Am I still raging?
Yes.
Okay.
Do
So-
first level barbarians have a DR on their rage?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 4 damage.
Barbarians never have DR on their rage, they just get DR.
Ah, okay, yeah.
7 damage.
7 damage. All right.
an orc rage is not quite the same.
It is identical.
I mean, it's identical, but to the rage, but it's not the same as being a barbarian.
Yeah, no.
That's fine. Because you don't get that barbarian stuff.
Alright, that's your turn, Garrick.
More fire, I think, is the answer here.
Actually, at the end of Shiana's turn, legendary action, the vine that is on Jang is going to constrict and lacerate you with more thorns. You take 12 points of piercing damage.
Do I get to make an opposed grapple check?
No, it just does it.
Okay. 12 points of damage?
Yep.
Cool.
How are you feeling? Not so great?
I'm injured now.
Whose turn's next?
Mine.
Garrick's. And you're up next after that.
Actually, I do more.
Before it gets a chance to do another legendary action at the end of your turn, I'm going to go ahead and take an immediate action, Flash of Light, to heal you. That'll be 3 hit points.
3 hit points? Okay.
Actually, I can't credit. What, I do 46 with my sword, but then I get hit back. Or I do 44 fire with just a spell, and I don't get hit back.
But you don't have your strength, your spell.
But I don't have my strength, my spell. Yeah, I'm just gonna hit it with my sword.
Go for it. Let me attack.
But you can miss with the sword.
I hope I don't. 17 plus 5 plus 4.
Yeah, you
Sorry, 17 plus 6 plus 4.
Yeah, that you hit. Roll damage.
So 20. Yeah, 27. And it was not a power attack, so it's not that. That's right, because it was the power attack was the thing that was bumping it up. So it's just strength and a half is 3 plus 1 is 4. I can battle shout just as an incidental.
Yeah, it's a free action.
Yeah, so I battle shout as well to give everyone around us plus 2 damage.
You could have done that before, too.
I could have. I didn't think about it though.
Technically, it's a swift action, so you can do it once per turn.
Yeah. So it's so it's 46 plus 6 now. Good thing I had that extra 6, because that 2 of those dies were shit. 9, 13, 18 points of damage.
How you want to do this?
Oh, good.
Oh, like just up and in half.
With a blade made of rock.
Yeah, with a blade made of rock.
So, Garrick, lashed by these vines and feeling the poison that has pulsed through his veins, although he's resisted most of it. All of it, actually. And he's, with this cry of absolute rage, just brings the blade up above his head, and then as the vines rise up to stop the attack, brings it back down to the side, and then just curls up to the left, like a baseball swing, just crack across the torso, and there's this ripping noise as the upper half of the plant separates from the lower half and goes sailing through the air for a minute, and then crashes to the ground. There's a moment of stillness before all of the vines that are either lashing out at people or constricting them just fall limp to the ground.
I would like to know if I could harvest some of these thorns to barb javelins with.
You probably wouldn't be able to get the poison out, but you could definitely get the thorns. Yep. Roll me survival. Roll me skinning, actually.
Not with your skinning knife.
I don't think the skinning knife is going to give me a bonus to plants.
Yeah, it only works on animals.
Yeah.
Am I skinning with what? Dex?
Yeah. Try not to stab yourself with the thorns.
10.
10. You can get a few thorns. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
I plop down an ancestral healing totem.
Do I see other...
You all begin to
plants?
heal 1 hit point per round.
Do I see other plants that are similar to this plant? Like, was this just an amalgamation of random plants, or is it a very specific type of plant? And if so, can I see it in other
How many
places?
rounds does it last, by the way?
Last a minute.
So,
So 10 hit points
10,
for everybody?
10 hit points.
Yep, basically, and if 10 hit points doesn't get you back, I'll put another one down.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't need a totem to get back to full.
Yeah! Take that, vine monster! You really face planted there. I
Roll me knowledge nature.
kick a portion of it
Knowledge
that's not
nature.
spiny.
Wait, I don't have knowledge nature.
Just roll intelligence.
How old are
To do
you?
what? He's a kid.
13.
He's a punk.
You've heard of vine lashers and blood petals. They're sentient plants. Well, not quite sentient as much as something is like an animal
They're
can be sentient.
animated
They're
plants.
animated plants. And they tend to be very aggressive. You typically find them in like stranglethorn areas where plant life is overgrown. There's not a whole lot of civilization in the way.
Do I see any others that could possibly be in the area?
You definitely see areas that have the same kind of coloration. You probably wouldn't know until you got close enough for them to decide they wanted to feed on you.
Gotcha. But for the most part, they just ambush?
Yeah, basically, they're feeding on you.
Okay.
They feed on your blood.
They eat your blood.
All of your fluids are part of its nourishment.
So, like a giant plant mosquito.
Kind of, yeah.
Venus flytrap gone horribly wrong.
The Venus flytrap and the mosquito actually got genetically combined.
Wizards, man. Wizards.
A wizard did it.
A wizard always did it.
It's like a
Owl
titan
bear.
bear, actually, but still.
I mean,
A
Titans
Titan
are a form
wizard.
of wizards.
Let's not limit.
Actually, no. Sorry, it's D&D. A wizard did it.
Of the coast.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
There's nothing to eat on this, is there?
It's
No,
plant
there
matter,
isn't.
unless you feel like eating
It's a
plants.
salad bar.
I'm
how
not
long
an
does
omnivore,
Bull's
sir.
endurance work?
Huh?
How long does Bull's endurance work?
It's like an hour.
I believe it's-
Is it a minute per
No, it's a
level?
minute per
I'm
level.
pretty sure it's a
It's a
minute.
minute
Okay,
per
they
level.
fixed it from 3 out.
Yeah.
So then
It's a minute per level.
I'm gonna I'll heal above 32, but then I'll go back down to 32.
And I didn't bother spending the extra mana to cast it at
Yeah,
the full level because
that's
there's
fine.
no real need to.
Time is actually the same. The only thing that increases with spell level is healing and damage done.
Can I make a heal check to try to cure his poison?
Sure.
If you, it'll go away by itself.
Make me another fort save, by the way, as a minute passes.
I did. It was a 20 something.
Alright, you're good.
My heal check is 17.
17? Yeah, you can antitox it.
Okay. Can I antitox myself?
Roll me another one.
Apparently not.
No.
Not quite.
Trying to antitox the troll, he just sort of like shrugs. He seems okay.
Can I antitox the paladin?
Sure. Using his own kit, roll me a heal check.
Fuck. Let me roll that because I popped it out of my hands and forgot what
Don't
the
you
number
mean the
was.
scary assassin?
No,
The most
I
terrified
don't.
of assassins. Anyway.
That's a 29.
Yeah, you can use his kit and help him get his own thing. It's mostly that his own hands are shaking, so it's really hard to properly apply it.
Let me help you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for your aid, paladin.
I'm an assassin.
Why do you keep saying that?
Well, that's
More of a vocation than a skill set, really.
it's a pretty gruesome backstory. I'm not sure you guys are ready for it.
Oh boy.
Okay, well then let's move on.
We'll move on.
In that case, we all start walking.
We'll start walking.
I mean,
You
I'm
see,
listening.
I grew up in the.
This is the point where
I
he's
engage my boots and walk faster.
They're gone.
Springs kind of burst out of the do you malfunction? Did you
No, it didn't malfunction.
Okay.
Pudding.
Very vague, whiny backstory in the background.
springs burst out of the bottom of Josh's boots, and he starts to walk a little bit faster.
I hear a vague, whiny backstory in the foreground.
First use of my boots. Very useful.
First use of your boots to get away from backstory.
Oh, perfect. All right, so as you continue to move forward, you eventually everyone roll me a spot check.
I can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah, I could do it, but it's not going to help.
Well,
18.
don't do that.
Oh
18.
my goodness! I rolled 20.
I rolled a 5.
17.
So it hits me first because I'm
15.
not
Does
from
my
it.
eagle get a spot
I
check?
see it.
Sure.
Eagles get amazing spot checks.
They have
Why,
eagle
why
eyes.
didn't I just... Oh, hey.
Eagles
look
get
at that.
spot check.
14 plus
Can I tell you-
14
Eagle spot
is
check.
38.
28.
28. 28. I know that.
31. I outsee the eagle.
22.
Seriously?
18.
18. So,
I hear better than I see.
what's your bonus?
Plus 13.
I think the eagle's bonus is actually higher than yours. You just didn't roll as
Yeah.
well.
I just didn't. I rolled a 4.
The
But
eagle's
not
bonus
much
is
higher.
1 higher than mine.
Yeah.
I could cast a spell to take it higher if I really needed to.
Whatever.
I like how you're competing pettily with an eagle.
They are siblings.
All 4 of us are siblings.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Your sister's an eagle?
Caca.
Well, you see, there was...
Long
Anyway.
funny backstory in the background.
So, Leaf, you notice, and the eagle also warns you, Fiona, before you, all of you are forced to a stop as Leaf and the eagle call out, and Fiona instinctively halts the group with the eagle's warning.
Yep.
As a couple steps forward, you see the ground begin to become a little bit more loose, and just the weight of your passing caused a little bit of the ground ahead to sort of break off and crumble down. And you realize that you're standing over quite a deep ravine, and as you look down, there's this iridescent green glow from this otherworldly crack in the ground. As you look
Literally
down,
otherworldly.
you can see greenish energy swirling around the crack in the earth as this sort of greenish, almost viscous toxin seems to be spreading into the ground from around it as you see these faint dancing green lights circling the crack in the earth. There seems to be some form of liquid in the base that is dark, almost like pitch dark, as the energy of this scar in the ground seems to be faintly shifting.
18 knowledge to planes?
I mean, that doesn't look like the Emerald Dream.
No, actually, yeah, I'll make a similar
Does it
roll,
look
I
like
guess.
fell energy?
No, not quite.
Ooh,
This is so metal.
24 for planes.
Anything
Any other knowledge I could roll for that?
there's a
It
place.
doesn't look
There's
like
a
nature.
there is a sickness in the Emerald Dream. A sickness, as you hear a voice come over your shoulder. A sickness known as the Emerald Nightmare. As you hear the voice of a Tauren behind you.
Turn.
And you see this elderly, but still energetic looking Tauren of dark brown fur coloration with a pair of white horns emerging from the sides of his head, wearing sort of very dark brown robes with very leaf green accents, as it like a mantle of fresh leaves seems to rest on his shoulders as he moves with a walking stick. A place within the Emerald Dream where corruption and sickness have taken hold. This nightmare scar is a place where it seeks to bleed into this world, he says as he steps up to the group of you.
Would you be Muyo?
I am.
Garrick, Cloud Speaker, and my companions from what's the name of the place again?
Desolation.
Over there.
Desolation Hole. We've come to investigate this sudden change in the lands.
And myself and the ogres here. We're allies with them for now.
I see.
But horde allies, not alliance, not.
Hell.
Never mind.
I understand you, young. My master Naralex and I have been attempting to bring life back to the Barrens for some time. Oh, the shame that both he and I feel at the notion that it was a tear in the realms that brought the nightmare here that would see our task done faster, even if so twisted and wrong.
Is there anything that can be done to put this tear to bed?
My master's power is attempting to contain the scar, but I fear that until the unrest in this world is put right, little can be done to heal it. Time, perhaps, but the intervention of the Cenarian Circle is, at the moment, merely keeping it at bay.
I'll look at the rest of the group. I would surmise, then, that this is not going to be a good place to come for additional food.
Not at all.
We would not want the nightmare to spread further, riding on the back of provisions.
Ah, provisions you seek. Yes. The destroyer's scar that has split the Barrens would make supply lines difficult.
It has. Do you have a suggestion?
I could lend my talents for a time to create some farmland for your desolation hold. Closer, within your reach, though it would take time and effort to maintain once the seeds have been planted.
It would be appreciated.
Very well. I would see that none would starve for the cataclysm that has wreaked its havoc upon this world.
Well then, I believe we have the information we came for. Shall we return to the hold?
Best to get this knowledge to them as soon as possible.
Are you two going to come with us?
Sure.
All kinds of fun things to do.
Yes, I'm sure there will be plenty of people for you to kill there.
If you seek to aid the Horde, then the hold would be a good place to start.
Seems like you guys need me.
Word of caution. Do not tell people that you're from a goblin tribe that worships Deathwing.
They'll kill you.
Twice.
And I will dance over your body.
Stick with that, yes.
Right. Right.
And do not anger the warchief.
The war chief? You're a war chief?
So is it? What's
The warlord is
the
one.
warlord?
Warlord.
It's the warlord.
The war chief is also a person you don't want to anger, mind you.
I mean,
Do not anger Warlord Bloodhilt. He doesn't have a lot of patience.
he has anger issues. Most orcs do. He has them in spades.
Patience is a virtue. And so we shouldn't have it, because we're the bad guys.
No. We're not.
We are not the bad guys.
By and large, the Horde's not evil.
Oh.
Get another paladin here to follow.
I said by and large, not entirely.
It's yeah, it's certainly a strange environment.
Let's make our way.
Okay.
And head back towards Desolation Hold.
Alright. It's another couple of days' journey. If you have any significant conversation that you wish to have over the course of those couple of days, we can have that. Otherwise, anyone? Okay.
I would end up just sort of talking with your character about Thaddeus and where he is and who he is.
You find it difficult to hold a lengthy, coherent conversation with Crew. He's a little split-minded here. On one hand, he seems to have the goal of helping people and bringing unity and doing all those sorts of things. But anytime you catch him expressing that verbiage, he'll catch himself and mutters something about I'm not a good person. I'm gonna do this the evil way, and sort of switches back on his things.
Just giving Leaf a headache the entire time.
I think Leaf just has a headache. Told the party.
I love, by the way, that you literally made the exact opposite of your previous character.
Well, the previous character was the gnome wizard.
Oh yeah, it was Timmy. You made the exact opposite of your shadow character.
The opposite of what was her name? Agatha?
Madame something.
No,
Brunhilde?
Yeah,
that was it.
Yes.
Brunhilde.
I try to give you these inspirational, motivational talks of, that you don't have to hide who you are or hide this compassion that you. I'm a motivational speaker, and I assume you have none of it.
Do you want to roll a
roll diplomacy?
Oh man, I actually get to roll diplomacy here. I haven't really been able to do that.
Roll a will save.
This is exciting for me.
All right, rolling a will save.
I've rolled diplomacy before.
Gotta roll here. Gotta roll well here.
Okay.
Gotta roll well here.
10
Nat 20.
14.
What's your diplomacy then?
That's a Nat 20 plus 5.
You know what? You're right. I don't have to hide. I'm a rebel. I am a good person. Yeah! And no one can tell me otherwise. He rips back his cloak, revealing shining, silvery chain shirt. Flips the cloak around, revealed it on the inside of its dark black, blood-ruined exterior. It's actually pure, soft white with golden tassels running down the side of it. And I'm a good person, I'm proud of it! He takes the black side of the cloak and wipes off the fake poison on his dagger, revealing it to be a sword that says justice on one side and mercy on the other.
I walk over.
That was the fastest costume change.
I walk over to Leaf and put a hand on his shoulder. Good job.
I'm proud of myself now.
I'm proud of you too.
Now, go like gain a couple levels, like off camera, just so I can come back to you and get a mission, so I can qualify for a prestige class. I don't see very many paladins around here.
Which prestige class?
Seeker of Glorious Truth. You have to level priest or paladin of the Holy Light. Sadly, you're not 10th level.
I mean,
yet.
Thaddeus might qualify.
Exactly. That's why I was asking, actually. Out of character, that's why I was asking. In character, I'm legitimately curious.
Oh, man.
If you get your quest from Crusader, I will laugh my ass off.
You would not be alone.
Oh man.
Alright, so.
Alright. So.
Desolation Hold with Paladin in tow.
Yeah, a couple days later you return to Desolation Hold. With Muyo in tow as he follows after you.
Oh yeah, Muyo's here. Sorry, this wiped my mind clean.
During the night,
That's the best time to roll a nat 20.
These guys are going to continue doing the watches. I'm going to have time to build something.
Do the work? Alright.
I got enough stuff to do.
You get 2 nights. You got 2 nights of work ahead of you.
Okay.
So roll me a crafting check.
I will if he needs any
Providing sound effects.
So,
yeah. If Josh needs any metalworking assistance, I will be.
I'm going to be putting together
I got you.
a little bracer.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a little some
man.
little wind up things inside and little.
Are you giving yourself an Assassin's Creed bracer? Just like
Not
hidden
quite.
blade?
No,
He's doing something very different.
No, this is a little different.
He's divulged his plans to me. I know these plans, and they're kind of amazing.
So I just have now I'm wearing a little kind of a leather bracer and has little gears and things on the
What'd you
inside.
roll?
I rolled a 22.
This is one of the ones that we worked on.
Yeah,
What was the DC
The
for it?
DC was 10.
that's an idea.
So
No, I
you
have- I take
you
it.
actually make 3 days
On
of
Assassin's
progress
Creed,
in the
like,
span
like
of
the-
2,
I
which means
take
that
it
you
has,
can
like, all
make
sorts of,
up
like,
to
built-in things, like a bracer.
1,050 gold worth of
Yeah.
progress if you want.
I can finish it.
Yeah, you can finish it.
So I finish it. Okay.
Gold is your main
Like
limiting
leading
factor
into the
here, really.
Yeah.
using
So-
technology to be the ultimate
That's all
rogue.
the stuff I have with me. As a matter of fact, I've got it.
Was that all? Was
Tinker
that all your
rogue.
projects?
Can
That's of what I'm
Like
carrying
an
right
arcane
now. Yeah,
trickster,
that's
but with technology.
Yeah.
that's all the materials I had.
Tinkers are already pretty well tailored to be rogue.
17. Wait.
But you still have the sneak attack stuff, but
Yeah,
so-
but
yeah, okay.
you don't need that.
no.
So I have it finished, and I'm now wearing a little bracer on my right arm, which just adding to.
Oh
You're
no.
cool.
Then alternatively, like a Tinker Warrior who's like has a bracer that just expands out into a shield at random.
Right,
So then build your way towards Iron Man here.
Yeah.
So a couple days later, you arrive back at Desolation Hold with your new Tauren companion in hand.
Head towards Warlord Bloodhilt, or whoever we're supposed to be reporting to.
Yep.
So you return to the Warlord, who is. It looks like in the 4 days that you've been gone, he's definitely gotten these soldiers a little bit more in shape. He's got them. They're all fully in armor, even if the heat is a little oppressive. And they're all at their posts. If anyone's eating, they're eating inside one of the buildings rather than outside. There are no weapons or anything laying about. The siege equipment's been maintained, even if there aren't any animals to pull it. And as you
The one siege equipment.
yeah,
The one ballista.
the one demolisher.
One demolisher.
But the warlord approaches as you all announce yourselves. Well, what's the status report?
The lands to the north certainly have suddenly grown plants, but it
And the
seems to
way
be-
that they have grown is
Yeah,
sort of
we
like the
found
way
one
that
of
the
these, too.
holy light can grow
I
in your heart.
backwards a little bit.
Again, and just kind of pull him back
The
beside
warlord
me.
looks down at the goblin for a second, looks back at Garrick.
I was about to try to justify it, but then I realized he was ignoring it, thankfully. So
the land seems to have had some bleed over from the Emerald Dream. A land that Muyo, let's say, indicating the Tauren, can explain in more detail, but it is not safe for farming. It is apparently a sickness from within the Emerald Dream, the Emerald Nightmare, is bleeding through into reality, warping the land. I'll reach into my bag and pull out the soil sample that I collected previously. It has transformed the land. It is not the Barrens anymore.
Druid, you say you know more of this. And the Tauren, I do, and I would be willing to not only share my knowledge, but also create some supplies here within your keep to further enhance your fortress's ability to maintain itself without need for trips outside. It would require some effort to maintain. And the warlord, all right. Establishing supplies within the base, giving a task to these layabouts, he says, looking over at some of the orcs, will help not only keep them in line, but help us maintain ourselves perhaps even better than the Alliance in some places. We'll talk, and we'll see what can be done. The rest of you, good work. See me tomorrow for your next task. I think if we can't head north, we'll need to head south for aid.
Very well.
Okay.
And he leaves with Muyo to have a further conversation about what can be done.
I turn.
Crew follows Muyo and
Let him go. Let him go.
He's going to get flung out the
I'm
window.
gonna follow after
Right.
Sam and keep him out of trouble.
That's probably wise.
Please do.
Yeah, just grab him and pull him back.
Crew and Fiona go after Muyo and Warlord Bloodhilt and disappear for a minute while the rest of you are left to your own devices.
Well then, you will be heading south.
That's
I'm the player trying to remember what's south of the Barrens.
What is south of the Baron?
Anoop?
needles. 1,000 needles.
1,000 needles?
we already had a bunch of thorns.
Ungoro crater.
No, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a land of
1,000
like,
needles.
of
That's where
tailors
like
and-
the centaurs
Oh,
and
yeah.
the goblin racetrack. Yes.
Nits.
No, the 1,000 needles
Goblin
is there are
That sounds
Tauren tribes
dangerous.
there.
Yeah, there's the Grim Totem,
Yeah.
our station.
But
And I would know
that's
about-
also where
and
the
I would-
centaurs live.
Yeah, that's where centaurs. That's where a bunch of the centaurs of the region live. That's also where the Gadgetzan Raceway is. Yeah.
Although it's not there yet.
No, it is.
No, it is.
It's been sunk.
No,
that's
that's
right.
the thing. It was there.
It was
Now
there.
it's not.
That's
but we
right.
don't know that.
And then further south from Thousand Needles is Tanaris, which is
Yeah.
where Ratchet is, or not Ratchet, Gadgetzan is,
Gadgetzan, yeah.
which is, definitely a place you can get supplies and aid from.
If we were to go further south, we could go to Gadgetzan, see if it has any supply connections that could be used. The goblins there would at the very least have access to more zeppelins,
That would be a good idea.
which
I
would
need
be
to go
useful.
down there too.
That's likely a place we can go. Otherwise, the Ungoro crater. I'm curious if it's been affected at all by this cataclysm, which I don't think it is.
It is.
Oh, is it?
The troll has wandered off and to check to see if there's any progress on animals and or food in this place.
Not at the moment. They're still working on rations. Although from what little you understand of the language, the Tauren seems to have a solution.
Okay.
Alternatively,
How did the hunting party go?
They seem to have come back over the course of the 4 days that you were gone. They seem to have come back with an amount of refreshing supply. They brought back a couple of kodos, so they do actually have some beasts of burden. They only have 2, but it's enough to get siege engines moving because kodos are hardy and strong.
Have they been trained yet, or are they working on training them?
They seem to have already been trained before they were brought. So
So they found some of the kodos that got loose.
yeah.
Okay. Oh well, and then I'm just gonna go make sure the kodos are being properly taken care of, and actually eating good foods and whatnot.
Yeah. And you notice the one Tauren, Tomusa, is seeing to the kodos, which you understand that Tauren have a very special relationship with kodos. Very much like you have with raptors.
Yes.
And so he's definitely making sure that of what good water they have, the Tauren are getting it and getting the food they need.
Okay. And I'm just gonna make sure that Snack Friend is, Snack Friend. I'm also gonna see if I can find any stray feathers or from that bird, those vultures I hunted, and see if I can make it wings.
Make wings for the snack.
Yes.
Oh, he's still working on that.
You are dedicated to these flying snakes.
I'm very confused.
so yes.
What trade skills do you have?
Hunting and skinning.
Hunting and skinning?
Get that net.
They don't have to be good wings.
You have leatherworking?
No.
I do.
You can roll me a hunting check with dexterity.
Okay. That's a natural 1.
You're having trouble trying to put the feathers together in sequence.
Oh wait. We can just go to Mulgore. We can just go to Mulgore.
You could theoretically get to Mulgore.
Just go to
but
Thunder Bluffs.
You'd have to go around the Overgrowth
Yeah. Well, no, there's a
and the ruins of Camp Taraja.
Yeah, we just go.
Yeah,
go
you
towards
pass the
Tahoe.
ruins of Camp Taraja, but That's an even longer way.
Yeah.
Because you have to go through the plains of Mulgore to get to Thunder Bluff.
Yeah. But that's an option.
It's definitely an option.
That's an option that's probably actually closer than going to Gadgetzan.
To Gadgetzan, yeah, but if there's something in Thousand Needles the Warlord thinks, then...
I mean, that's closer even than Thousand Needles. Thousand Needles is further away. We're up here.
Yeah, you're actually... You are right here.
Yeah,
right, that
we're
point
right
right
here.
there. Thousand Needles right there. You have to go up and around through Mulgore to get to Thunder Bluff, which is over here at the other end of Mulgore.
Yeah.
Just because it's physically closer doesn't mean it's easier to get to.
No, yeah. But I'm just in character
It's
thinking
more
about
options,
options. Yeah, so
Yeah. Mulgore, Thunder Bluff is definitely an option.
we could go to Gadgetzan is an option. The Thousand Needles potentially might have something, but also the Torrens at Mulgore. We could go to Thunder Bluff as well. It's on this side of the rift in the Barrens. And
I thought there was a reason we didn't want to do something. We were going to check out the Torrent.
We had their
I mean, that's where the
Because
people
they-
went to go get some supplies. Actually, was to
Okay.
Mulgore. It's just that
the caution that we have, I'll say, pointing east of us, is Theramore. There's an Alliance base on the other side of these mountains.
you could also get to. You know that there are horde bases to the southeast in the marsh.
In
To the east, actually, directly.
in Diremo? No.
Directly east.
Oh yeah. Oh, in the marsh, west of Theramore. Yeah.
Yeah. Dustwallow, that was it.
Yeah. There are horde forces.
There's Stoneart, specifically.
Yes, there are horde forces in the marsh, but Theramore still remains a threat. That is where I would know Jaina Proudmore's there, wouldn't I?
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
Jaina Proudmore lives in Theramore and purports to be neutral, but lets Alliance forces come through her base.
Jaina Proudmore runs Theramore, a powerful wizard, human. We have options. Though I imagine
You do know that Jaina's decree is that there will be no violence between the Alliance and Horde within Theramore, but she has no issues letting Alliance forces use her as a staging ground, basically.
yeah, like, regardless of what she says, Alliance forces are there.
Basically, okay, you can have your war, just not over here.
Yeah. Which still makes it a dangerous place, because...
Immediately outside of Theramore.
yeah. The Thousand Needles might provide something, but I have more of a mind that we should speak with our Tauran allies. Mulgore is hopefully still a fertile place.
Is that the place where you said that they had their own hands full right now?
Yeah, that was the one that was what Tamusa had said, was that Mulgore has their own problems right now.
Didn't they have a butchered village or something?
Yeah, Camp Tarajo is
That's the one that I came
It's
from.
the scouting facility, the scouting
Yeah.
camp directly outside the gates of Mulgore.
That's
They
why
may
we
be-
didn't go to them for aid, because they've been having their villages butchered.
They may be spread thin, but any assistance they can offer is quite direly needed.
And we could assist them as well.
Meanwhile, while this conversation is happening, Crew and Fiona, what are you up to?
Well, I assume they're talking about something important, so I should be there because I'm kind of the leader of our little band. So just want to make sure that I'm not getting left out here.
All right, so you follow Warlord Bloodhilt and Muyo, and the two of them head inside the main body of the fortress up to the top, where it's a lot cooler, but there's a very wide open view of the area, and the two of them seem to be having a conversation about potential areas of land that could be used for farming, for growing plants and treating animals and raising crops and animals for food and supplies for the fortress, so they can basically sustain itself, and how many hands would be necessary to keep the plants going and to take care of the animals.
I nod.
There's a lot of military logistics going on.
And how are we going to help the poor? That's the big question.
I put my
'Cause, like,
hand on his shoulder. It's not what they're talking about right now.
like with the food though, and like you have the hungry, and I feel like We need to go feed the hungry. Like, we can't just, even though we're the Horde, we can't hoard the resources when people need us.
Well, one thing you
Play with a
notice,
natural 20.
well, one thing you notice when you get up in that little
He's going to
tower,
give me a side quest, so
if
you know
look
what?
out the window, there's another fortress over the way, and it's just out of bow range, and it's there's another fortress over there.
Yeah, there's like directly outside that window. You see
Is it
across.
the window with the orc-shaped hole in it?
Yeah, there's a shattered glass window that hasn't been repaired yet, and directly across the way, a good couple thousand feet away, there is what looks to be relatively well maintained, but still seeing signs of age, like some moss and some vines growing on it. Massive stone fortress that is built of stone brick and heavy mortar that definitely flies the banners of the Alliance over it.
Hey guys? I think your enemies are right over there.
The War of Blood Hilt turns. Yes, that's why we need supply lines.
This is like for battle.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take him outside
The people
now,
who are
and
the people who are hungry right now are those soldiers downstairs who don't have supply lines to get rations.
We will find the supplies for you. I promise
grabbed his
you.
shoulder and said, "I apologize," and I drag him out the door.
You don't have to grab him by the shoulder. You're big enough. You
Oh,
can
I
take
pick him
up.
up. I pick him up and I carry him
Like,
and
You
try
pick him
to
up like
find
a
this
kitten and
room.
walk out.
Oh, like
He says before you leave.
Yes.
He is the size of your hand.
Do you seek to work with the Horde? I might have use for someone with your skills.
Yes.
Yes.
Both of you.
He comes with me.
I'll find some use for both of you.
He's a purse accessory, really. That's all I'm saying.
Carrying him like a teddy bear right now.
Go on. I'll have tasks for you in the future in exchange for pay.
All right.
I'm just carrying this little armored goblin in one hand.
Okay.
We're gonna get to prove ourselves. This is gonna be great.
Yes.
And
It'll
we're
be
gonna
great. In the meantime, let's go see what that other group is doing, because I have a feeling they might be doing something interesting.
Oh yeah, they need us too.
Yes. Let's.
Can you put me back down?
Not yet.
I mean, it's a little embarrassing in front of the guys. Just
I put him down. Take my hand. I'm like reaching down.
Way down.
But you have to lean over a little bit.
Or drop him.
I walk back to the group by myself.
Take my head, just follow, and just.
We're sitting here looking at maps, trying to figuring out. All right, well, so we have
the heavy thudding noise of giant half ogre feet, followed very closely by the clinking noise of
I thought I was dainty.
goblin armor. Yeah, you're dainty, but you're still gigantic.
Okay.
you
Fair
are a
enough.
dainty giant, but you're still a giant.
Yeah.
So I'm officially part of the Horde now.
Okay.
For considerations.
I'm officially part of the
What are
Horde
you guys
now.
doing?
I
And
look for a rock about 13 feet away and try to pick it up
Yeah,
without
so
moving toward it.
roll me your use tech.
17.
Yep. So the goblin, Josh just reaches out with his right hand, and the back of the bracer opens up, and a series of like crossing metal braces extend outward on a spring with a grabbing hand that just kind of grabs a small rock and then brings it over to him and deposits it in his hand.
It's a rock. I toss it.
Congratulations. Also, congratulations to you.
So what are you?
I'm honored.
Right.
We're looking at potential places for reestablishing new supply lines in the vicinity. We should also bring up, although that might be a different task, reconnecting with the forces in Duskwall Marsh.
Duskwallow Marsh.
Duskwallow Marsh.
Duskwallow.
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 Duskwallow. Wallowing in dusk. Duskwallow.
Dust?
But we have the Thousand Needles further to the south that needs to be checked on. I don't know. Have they sent scouts previously out to see what the condition of the
It's actually Dustwallow. Never mind.
Dustwallow.
It's a T.
Have they sent people out to determine the status of the Thousand Needles yet?
No one's heard back from Thousand Needles at the moment.
And the Thousand Needles to the south, Mulgore to the north, Dustwallow Marsh to the east, and to the west, the lands around Diremol, so that may be the most dangerous of the four.
It's Faralas.
Faralas, yes. I can never remember the region, I just remember Diremol's there.
Yeah, Faralas.
And beyond the Thousand Needles to the south is Gadgetzan, who will definitely be able to acquire supply lines from, but
For a price.
obviously it'll be for a price. That may be the most reliable option, as I understand that the Torrents of Mulgore have their own problems that need to be dealt with. At the
Yes.
same time, they are our allies. We should offer aid. So that's most of what we're doing, deciding where to go next. I imagine Warlord Bloodhilt will have specific requirements and ideas, but it is still good to know our options.
Of course.
Do you have anything to add into the conversation? Thaddeus, where would he be? He may be of aid.
Thaddeus, from what you recall, keeps a relatively quiet, simultaneously chapel and basically orphanage / boarding school, where he educates those who are in need. Roughly, if I can find a spot, right near where the crossroads would intersect with the Red Ridge Mountains, or where the Northern Barrens intersect with Red Ridge Mountains. Laser pointer right about around there.
Okay. So on the northern end of the Barrens.
I pointed out on the map.
Yeah.
I definitely take note.
It's a quiet place that he referred to as the light on the hill. As far as that was the only name he ever gave of it, was the light on the hill.
So it's still in the Barrens, or is
It's basically at the intersection of the Barrens and Red Ridge.
over there?
Yeah.
Okay. I will be on the other side of the scar, which means that seeking any aid out from there would have to start from Orgrimmar or station north on the Northern Barrens. For now, Mulgore, the Thousand Needles, Dustwallow, or Tharalos are our next destinations.
How are the rations in the camp itself?
You're starting to run down. You had a few weeks of rations, and you've just had 4 days of it being eaten into. Which means they'll last for another week and a half, maybe. But theoretically, if Muyo gets to work and there's farmland, that will alleviate itself.
What's the distance? Well, just like sort of time-wise, because I know you've got timetables. What would the distance from here to Gadgetzan, here to Thunder Bluff, and here to the fort in Dustwallow Marsh be? Those three locations.
So from...
And has Camp Mirage been constructed yet?
Not quite. Morshan ramparts.
Yeah, no, in near the Horde fort near Diremol.
Oh, Camp Mirage.
Like Marache or something like that.
Camp Mojahi. Camp Mojahi.
That one.
Because it's a Tauren camp. Camp Mojahi. Yeah, that one's probably up by now.
So yeah, so like
That one's been up for a while.
yeah. So if we know that one, exists, the travel times between those 4 locations from here. I mean, Dust Wallow is going to be the quickest, but
getting to Dust Wallow would probably be on Wolfback. Would probably be roughly distance from Razor Hill to Graldom, which would be about 24 hours of riding.
it's about 2 days.
Yeah, about 8, 16. It'd be about 3 days. But that's just to get into the marsh. To get to Stoneard would probably be another 2 or 3 days. So about a week to get to Stoneard.
Writing.
Right.
And that's the closest place. Also, they're not going to have any. They're not going to have any more supplies than we did.
Getting to Thunder Bluff would probably be. You're looking at 10 to 12 days of riding. And then getting to Feralas.
We'd have to go through Thunder Bluff. We'd have to go through the either Thunder Bluff or Thousand Needles.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to reach without going to Thousand Needles. Thousand Needles is only about Thousand Needles itself. It's only about 5 or 6 days.
And about, I imagine 2 or 3 days across it.
To get across it.
Yeah.
So it'd be about a week to get to Gadgetan.
So, laying out these timetables in front of everybody.
Yeah. Just extrapolating on maps here.
But we're going to be walking.
I'll get you more solid timetables because I have most of my travel times are for Duratar. I don't have as many for the Barons.
Yeah.
I'll get you more solid
Southern
timetables for
Kalimdor-
next week.
Southern Kalimdor in general is slightly more difficult to traverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get you more accurate timetables for next week.
Yep. So,
Cool.
what does everyone think?
Need a transport staff.
Wrong campaign.
Yes.
I know the world's being lit on fire, but wrong campaign.
Oh, if you had your choice of where to go next, what would your opinions be?
Down toward Needles.
It does seem like Gadget Zan does seem likely to have something of use to us, and perhaps passing through Thousand Needles would be able to find something there as well. It seems as though it would be the best way to reach both destinations.
Brick?
I would agree with Leaf.
Additionally, the shorter travel time would be helpful.
I agree as well.
No. Then we'll put forth the suggestion of Gadget Zan.
After all, if we take too long of a travel time, then by the time we are back, lack of news would be devastating.
At the very least, we'll be able to acquire a Zeppelin in Gadget Zan.
Yeah.
With enough money.
Well,
yeah.
or favors.
Or what?
Is that enough money or favors?
Goblins prefer money to favors.
Generally.
Yeah, but, you know.
Favors of money. That's the story.
There you go.
They do favor money.
Well then, we will reconvene in the morning with Warlord Bloodhilt.
Alright.
Indeed.
And as you all settle down to rest for the evening, prepared to...
Does anybody still have ability damage?
Nope.
No.
The Paladin's done some pretty good job of detoxing everybody.
I also heal ridiculous amounts of ability damage every hour.
I mean, you know.
As you all settle down to rest for the evening, with an objective in sight and theoretically food problems to be solved within the fort, that is where we'll go ahead and end for the evening.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.